Can you hear it distant drum? Bouncing on the line of a melody. Hey. Another rhythm tell you come. Does your spirit do a dance to this symphony? Does it tell you that your heart is higher? Oh yeah. And does it tell you that your pain is higher? Oh yeah. Does it wash away all your unlovely? Are you ready for a brand new discovery? Calypso music. Yeah. Blessed good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Blessed good afternoon, brothers and sisters, family and friends. Blessed good afternoon. As you come up, we just want to encourage you to share the live. Sing it, oh yeah, oh yeah. Sing it, oh yeah, oh yeah. I say that I am the seed of the ground and once again, we must send out some love to Trinidad and Tobago. Each and every one of our brothers and sisters, we send out some love to each and every one of our essential workers, each and every one of our public servants. We send out some love to every household. Hey. Rooted deep within my Caribbean to make apologies and dreams. Hey, but turn a woman's body into jelly. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, wherever you are, whether you're in Cedros, Erin, Buenos Aires, or Icacas, Calypso. You could be in Princeton, you could be in Sour on East West Corridor. Ladies and gentlemen, whether you're in Moruga, you could be in Maravalo, Edinburgh 500. I want to send out some love to Silox and Shaka Ramasa. Bayari, Shaka Shakari. Yes, sir. Calypso. Calypso. As you come up, ladies and gentlemen, we encourage you. Yes, as you come up, we encourage you to share live. If you haven't as yet, we encourage you, ladies and gentlemen, and subscribe our page. Forward, I must send out a blessed good afternoon to my UNC family, to my coalition team. Blessed good afternoon. We continue to send some love to Tobago, TPP. Blessed good afternoon to you. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, you're here with your boy Irvin, and this is the next episode of Real Talk, where we cover real conversation, deal with real issues. It's our responsibility to participate in constructive conversation. So as you come up, I wish you a blessed good afternoon. Please don't forget to like, please don't forget to share, please don't forget to subscribe to our page. Brothers and sisters, we say 100,000 we're heading for, and with your support, with your encouragement, with your endorsement, we in this together. So to my Real Talk family, blessed good afternoon. Blessed good afternoon to you, 648 family. Blessed good afternoon to you, Trinidad and Tobago. To our brothers and sisters in the Caribbean, blessed good afternoon to Guyana, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Barbados. Whether you're from St. Kitts and Nevis, you could be from the British Virgin Islands. Ladies and gentlemen, we wish you a blessed good afternoon. We're sending out some love to our brothers and sisters over there in Puerto Rico, over there in Toronto, Canada. Yes, big up yourself, Canada. We send the blessed good afternoon to our brothers and sisters in England, in the good old United States of America. Yes, sir. And we drag it down from up in the sentence hills. Blessed good afternoon. Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I myself, I must continue to send out some love to Point 14, where I'm from. I'm saying bless good afternoon to Point 14, bless good afternoon to Lobre, Chinese Village, to Dow, to Rosilac, bless good afternoon to San Fernando, Golconda, wherever you are, this blessed Thursday, the 21st of August, in Trinidad and Tobago, or the Caribbean, or the world in extension. We say bless good afternoon to you. But brothers and sisters, although we had a talk, again, we're seeing exactly what is going on in Trinidad and Tobago, and each and every one of us have a responsibility. Now, what does be sad is when things happen, it's okay to ask Irvin to address it. No problem with it. I just hope when I answer, you don't be displeased. So what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen, there's a young man who committed suicide yesterday, I believe, and apparently it's because of Irvin Felix and Opinion Box and the United National Congress, and apparently it's because whoever it is. But with reading this story, I get to understand the synopsis, and all I can say with that is typical man. Always take the easy way out. It's either we instinct the mind we children, now we committing suicide. Any excuse to avoid forming the family structure, no problem. No problem. You ask me to address it, I would. Brothers and sisters, family and friends, as you come up, I just want to encourage you to call somebody who knows somebody, or it's time for us to talk. Again, it's a next episode of Real Talk, where we stay real, where we stay focused, and brothers and sisters, where we stay blessed. So as you come up, I encourage you, share the live. I want to continue to say blessed good afternoon to each and every one of our elderly brothers and sisters.
Bring back the old time days.
I'm saying a blessed good afternoon to Freeport. Blessed good afternoon.
Bring back them old time ways.
Blessed good afternoon to Dalbelly. Blessed good afternoon.
I know everything must change.
I want to say a blessed good afternoon to Granny. Granny, blessed good afternoon.
Old time days.
Blessed good afternoon to Nikki.
Used to be everyone.
Blessed good afternoon to Pearl Sammy.
Right. Just to feel nice. Didn't need no paradise.
Blessed good afternoon to Elizabeth.
Now open your eyes. Look around.
Right. Blessed good afternoon to you.
Walk in the city. And what was pretty.
TK, blessed good afternoon to you. Ricky, blessed good afternoon to you.
So bring back the old time days.
Iris, blessed good afternoon.
Bring back the old time ways.
I want to say a blessed good afternoon to each and every one of you.
Everything was changed.
But brothers and sisters, we have to talk today.
But I still love the old time days.
I see New York City in the building. Blessed good afternoon.
Used to be everyone cared for each other. Lived like brothers, respected one another.
This is what we promote: love, unity, and respect.
We used to share.
Yeah.
Together we make
Mohammed, bless good afternoon. Vincent, bless good afternoon. Bless good afternoon to the Real Talk family.
Days done past and gone. And I know that life must carry on. But if I must join in with the pack, then I'm going back there to the old time days. Back to them old time ways. I know everything changed, but I still love the old time days. Yes, bring back the old time days. Bring back the old time ways.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, family and friends, again, my name is Irvin, and you are with the Real Talk in the Real Talk studio. And brothers and sisters, today is the 21st of August Yes, in beautiful, beautiful Trinidad and Tobago. And I just want to continue wishing you a blessed good afternoon. So as you come up, I encourage you, call somebody who knows somebody, and I encourage you, please, put the like, put the heart. If I say something that you don't like, put the angry face at the end of the day. Please leave an explanation without obscene language, because the only how we could evolve, the only how we could understand each other, the only how we could dialogue is if I know what you're thinking and if you know what I'm thinking. Hence the reason why we have real talk, not mama guy talk, not propaganda talk. To the new brothers and sisters, you would come over here. This is not one of the platforms who do not, we should say, reach to the point that I do not agree with what Mr. Arnold Roberts is saying. Because if we want the truth to be spoken, and the truth is being spoken, we mightn't like it because some people find we must be a little more conservative. No problem with that. But the facts is the facts. And the truth must continue to be spoken. So brothers and sisters, as you come up, I just want to encourage you to join me in a word of prayer before we go forward. Because you know we have a responsibility to ask the Father to take charge. So whatever spirituality, whatever denomination that you connected to, whether you're Hindu, you're Baptist, Jehovah Witness, you could be Ethiopian, Orthodox, Rastafari, 7 Days Adventist, whatever, himself is a part of the Freemason, the Illuminati, because as far as I understand, them consider their thing a religion too. That have nothing to do with me. My responsibility, ladies and gentlemen, is to ask each and every one of our brothers to get ourselves in alignment so that we could build family structures, we could build morals, we could build values. Lack of information, brothers and sisters, you tend to make poor decisions. And if we could all agree that a lot of poor decisions have been made over the years, and not just by those below, those on top. So we had some poor examples. So today, as we navigate forward, and we navigate forward in a positive structure. We're not navigating forward with racism. We leave that up to Anthony Williams and them. We're not moving forward with disrespect. We leave that up to those who continue to support the former administration. But when it comes to love and respect, ladies and gentlemen, unity and prosperity, this is what we would display, we would demonstrate and promote on 648 television. So when I ask you, join me as we continue to lift up our Honorable Prime Minister. And I ask you, join me as we continue to ask God to cover each and every representing factor, whether it be ministers, senators, aldermen, whether it be MPs. When I ask you to join me to pray for every home in Trinidad and Tobago, every family, every marriage. It's not for every Christian marriage or for every Hindu marriage, it's for every marriage. Here, every creed and race finds an equal place, and may God bless our nation. So everybody who falls under the every, asking you to join me in a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, is your son open. Father, we continue to give you the praise, the honor, and the glory. We submit ourselves to you. We say less of us, and more of you. So Father, we say you have your way in Trinidad and Tobago. Lord, we even want to lift up our citizens outside of Trinidad and Tobago today in a special way. We pray that governments on the outside continue to find favor in our citizens. Father, we ask that you order their steps, cover their going outs and their coming ins, cover their families, their children that are off at universities. Father, we ask that you encamp your angels around each and every decision that is being made. And Father, we pray that as they are away from their homeland, you just guide and you protect. You keep them strong. Lord, today we say a special prayer for each and every family in Trinidad and Tobago, every marriage, every relationship, every single mother, every single father. Father, we ask that you encamp your angels around us, around our children. We pray the blood of Jesus continue to cover us as we move forward, as we continue to speak and dialogue. Lord, I pray for a spirit of unity to fluctuate through each and every community. I pray for love. I pray for togetherness, family. I pray, Lord, I pray for family structures. I pray for men in the family to rise up and take and be the head of the home. Father, I pray for men to rise up and be living examples around their children and around their children's children. Father, I just ask that you just take charge. Encamp a spirit of calmness, a spirit of peace, the peace that surpasses all understanding, Lord. Father, I just want to thank you, give you all the praise, all the honor, and all the glory. Lord, as we navigate today, I even want to say a special prayer for each and every person, every household that would be representing on today's Real Talk Show. Father, I ask that you cover them, cover their businesses, cover their going outs and their coming ins. Anyone who is on the nation's roadway, wherever nation they are, I pray for no accidents, no incidents, no near misses. Lord, and I ask for every spiritual denomination, no mind the ethnicity, no mind the culture, Father, every spiritual denomination to rise up and proclaim your name, proclaim your spirituality, and spread it throughout the communities, Lord. Father, every single thing that is being said and done is being said and done for your honor and for your glory. We say less of us, Lord, and more of you. So we ask that you continue to have your way. You continue to have your way in my family. Father, you have your way in my wife and in the children. Father, I just ask that you just continue to cover the Felix family. You continue to use us as instruments in your house, Lord. Lord, and as we at it, I want to even say a special prayer for our Honorable Prime Minister. Father, I pray that you encamp your angels around her. I pray no harm, no danger, no negative tongue, no wicked spirit come around her. I pray you encamp your angels around her office, around her home, around her employees, around her staff. Father, you just have your way. And I say a special prayer for my member of parliament, Mr. Raymond Onesto Kiza. Father, you just continue to use him. You continue to strengthen him, guide him, and continue to order his steps. Father, you use him. Yes, Lord, we know his years of neglect. We know it's a lot of work. But Father, we pray for strength. We pray for strength. We pray for guidance and covering for our member of parliament and each and every member of his staff. Father, you use them as instruments, Father. You use them to bring forth. Use them to be a blessing to your people. Father, we thank you for all that you have done and all that you continue to do. Thank you for today's program in no other name but Jesus' name. Amen and amen and amen. Bless, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, brother.
Sister, you're live on air right now.
Okay. Top of the evening to Trinidad and Tobago. What the heat?
Yes.
Keep drinking water and all is well.
Yes. You give me a call back about 2:30.
No problem, sir.
All right, sister. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Sister, that is Moruga. And again, as we continue to say, we speak to people from all over the place, all over the world. Brother Felix, you do have thing when speaking the truth. Thank you. Thank you, Uncle. All bless, good afternoon. Eh? So I want to start with a topic that someone sent to me here, and apparently it's supposed to be something that Trinidad and Tobago is supposed to start to target, apparently Irvin Felix, an opinion box. So again, my responsibility, ladies and gentlemen, you send it my way. We will decipher it, and if it makes sense, it makes sense. So that being said and done, brothers and sisters, as we know, there's a young man, let me see if I get his story here. There's a young man that committed suicide. He was a married man, based on my understanding. On top of that, he and his wife, God bless them with 2 children. Apparently, he's a boy and a girl. One is 19 and the next one a little younger. And God bless them with that. But here, what come and happen? Life tend to hit. Life tend to hit. You understand what we end up with here? Life tend to hit. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, while I talking here, nobody ain't getting me complacent. You could tell me what we don't have, and we ain't had CPEP, and we ain't had this, and we ain't had that. At least we don't have to line up and go and look to hustle thing to eat. And while we hustling to eat, people shooting at we foot. So at least we ain't going down that road. At least we're not in that position. At least we don't have to sit back and listen to our leaders who have the responsibility to implement progress, implement upliftment. Our leaders who is expected to help develop the community, explain to us that is no problem. Them rather work with the rich so that the rich continue to get richer and open no avenues for the poor. At least we're no longer in that category. But the category that we find ourselves in is that Trinidad and Tobago, despite how much millions, what's going on with me this afternoon, despite how much billions of dollars cannot be explained, ladies and gentlemen, we still have people from the former administration believing that they could utilize the little knickknacks. Just the other day, they out and about trying to convince Trinidad and Tobago, you and myself, we shouldn't listen to Barry Pararat. They're trying to tell we know that the reason why is because Barry Pararat is a homosexual. When that didn't work and we let them know at the end of the day, nobody didn't vote for Barry Pararat for sex. We voted for representation. Then it jumped from that now to Miss Kamala Week. We explained we didn't vote for Miss Kamala to be no bodybuilder. It's representation we vote for. From that, we navigate to Mr. John Jeremy Shepard. He dotish, he's a lick bottom African. We didn't even vote for that. It's representation we vote for. From that, we jump back to Anil and Live Sport. No problem. We didn't vote for you to remind me that. We vote for representation. We vote that Ms. Khadija made a whole set of conversation that this former administration could remember all of a sudden. Now, all of a sudden, now the whole country under strain. CPEP closed down. Forest Reserve closed down. This is the end of the line. Now listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. My responsibility is to bring you the relevant information. And the information clearly states that a 51-year-old man was found unresponsive at his home on the afternoon of August 19th. The conversation is with growing financial and emotional stress after he became unemployed last month. Let me see if I could get down to the nitty-gritty and the source of the conversation. Blessed day. Bowen, blessed day. John, blessed day. Nigel, blessed day. All right, let me see if we could get to this now. A 51-year-old man last month. Father of three, I tell you two, a mistake I make. Father of three, Richard Cooper of San Fernando, had been struggling to support his family after being laid off from the National Reforestation. And listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. That's the way. Hear this piece of the heights. Now, it's not like in some houses we have one person working. Now listen to this. Where both he and his now widow, 45-year-old, has worked for the past 5 years under the Rural Development Company. In July, contractors issued letters of termination, leaving workers unemployed. According to Cooper's widow, who was asked not to be named, his distress has become evident in the recent weeks as he became quiet. The couple lived in an apartment with their 19-year-old and their 16-year-old children, and it comes to the children, we do our best to when it comes to the children, we do our best to provide for them. Things are hard for us. What little savings we have, we use the money on the children, she said as tears rolled down her face. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot help but show sentiments for his wife. I totally understand what his wife is going through. I can't help to show sentiments for his children. I can't help it because why? His children is experiencing and then they lost their father. But then my responsibility, brothers and sisters, is not to sugarcoat now. Let's send this to me. And apparently now, this year, based on what it is, let me see if I could find the comment. Because you know we like to talk in context. Leslie Walcott put up on the same page. This article is from one of the news, from Newsday. You gone up on Newsday website and listen what they type up on Newsday page. They type up, I want people like the Opinion Box and Irvin Felix and all the other UNC bloggers to see this because this man blood is countless and others on their hands. Hear what going on? Somebody link Leslie Walcott for me. Link Leslie for me. Leslie, are you playing mad or some kind of thing? Or let me explain this thing to you comfortably. Because like all you're getting tie up and feel somebody forget what actually take place in Trinidad and Tobago. Listen what you explain to me. This man and his wife, now ladies and gentlemen, in my thing, me looking to fight down the man, you know. But the heights is, this is such a common thing when it comes to African men and family is either we leaving the African woman hang up and go with our next woman, or Well, obviously, as of yesterday, now we're committing suicide. Every single thing to avoid responsibility. Because one thing a man could do, I could read. And with holding on to the information, I get to understand is he and his wife was working for his reserve. How his wife didn't get the idea to commit suicide. How his wife not in the news today with the rope around she. How his wife didn't practice that. You know why his wife didn't practice that? Because there's something about women. It's something about women when they understand the responsibility. It's something about women. So now you come to explain to me now, this man who make three children, he working for his reserve, his wife taking all this strain with him. On top of that, you ain't bring the woman in she own house yet. She done make three children for you. You have a government work 5 years now. Nobody didn't tell all you what all seen in front of all your eyes. Nobody didn't tell all you eventually. Because look how long the corrupt conversation has been spoken. Nobody didn't tell nobody. Eventually, one of these governments will put the foot down. This corruption will have to stop. Nobody didn't take that into consideration. But you know who I believe take it into consideration? Cooper's wife. You know why? She didn't contemplate suicide. For some strange reason, Cooper, who is the man who's supposed to be the head of the home, contemplated suicide. Now, if that ain't bad enough, let me get on to some conversation. You send this and you ask for me comment. So don't vex with me when I answer you. You're telling me about Cooper. And as much as it hurting me, what happened to Cooper? As much as it hurting me, the position that that man's wife and his children is in today, I am totally disgusted with his behavior. I'm totally disgusted with the action and the cheap and the lazy way out that he chose. Don't send them garbage over by me. Where you feel? He didn't get bounced down. He didn't die on no job site. And nobody didn't invade his house. He decided. We sit down talking. Again, lead back to relevant conversation. Thing right. We come to terms. Thing right with everybody. So then all the men in Trinidad and Tobago should kill out themselves then. All the men in Trinidad and Tobago should murder and kill out themselves. Bad enough, all they don't convince the young people in this country it's okay to eliminate all yourself. First, all they tell them it's okay to run up in the Indian man house. It's okay to take the thing. Today now, it's okay to put a blame of a man who refused to stand as a man. But I understand it are pressures. But you can't tell me it's 1 month you stop working. So now it make me bring my conversation down to the perspective, Trinidad and Tobago. You explaining to me about a man in Marabella who pull off a stunt and leave family hang up. What about all the men them who was working petrotrain trimmer? What about all the men them who was working in the refinery and who children was in college and they had to take the children out of college? What about all the men who was paying mortgage? What about them? It's not today we're dealing with that issue. So the fact that all them now start to hear them nastiness, the fact that it now start to hit all you, that when you're in a position and you cannot take care of your family and you cannot pay your bills, over 500 people dead since Petrotrain closed. Over 500. New York, bless good afternoon. Kevin George, bless afternoon. Over 500 persons died. Just reached to the point, your whole life done structure. Your child have 1 more year in school. Bless good afternoon, big brother. Talk to me.
Oh, my brother Felix.
What going on? Talk to me. Talk to me.
Good afternoon. I was out and about, but I hope no one take clean the program.
Yes, man.
But I heard this guy you're talking about who committed suicide.
Yeah.
He was working in forestry and his wife was working in forestry.
Yeah, and his wife.
So in other words, you're trying to tell me, what the government restructured in forestry and CPEP and RP, he hung himself.
That's what I tell you, we don't know. Because
so when the PNM take away, So when the PNM take away my children thing and my thing,
yeah.
me hang myself.
Thank you. Thank you. How much people
They try to because I was renting over Patricia Shakes and I carried out documents with them and I only landlord $6,000 and I get notice this, that.
Thank you.
I have a good landlord, give children money with parts.
Thank you.
The boss might shoot. Me hang myself, Mr. Felix.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you know the boss might try for me to go and sleep on the side of the road with my family. You know, God answer my cry and God put a nice one in place. And she had my cry and she probably for my trying.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's why I said today.
Uh-huh.
So I feel like he get paid, you know. So that you talk right now, you know. Pay people boy. They take away sick people in Rapi.
That you talk.
And forestry. And people hanging themselves. This government wicked. He wicked to himself.
He wicked to your family. He wicked to your wife. He wicked to your children. He wicked.
Now wicked PLM as well. Like the pay for the give family. I bet someone to put on that. That's you know. That's not natural. So I love to understand.
All right, big brother. No, ladies and gentlemen, them can't catch me in that foolishness. You come up on social media and your sentiments is your Hope, Felix, and Opinion Box and the rest of UNC bloggers. What are you trying to explain to me? UNC will tackle the crime crisis with intelligent competence and purpose. I know what I was getting into, you know. I know exactly what I was getting into. You know why it was so easy and so comfortable for me to get into what it is I was getting into? I had to hold on to the facts and the elements. I had enough sense to know that if the refinery, if Petrochem closed, foreign reserve would be low in Trinidad and Tobago. I sat back in my own country and saw the supermarket association. I saw the supermarket association beg to get resources to bring food in our own country. Bless good afternoon, caller.
Brother Felix, man.
How you do? How you do?
Well, I sympathize with that person.
Yes.
Yeah, understand. It's not a nice thing, but let me tell you something. All the people in Petrochem who lost their lives, under pressure, lost houses, they can't pay their mortgage.
Can't pay their mortgage, have to close down their business.
Some of them lost their wife. The media never put that on.
No
media house never put that on. Huh?
None. None never support them. None never support the Petrochem workers. Never see them do an article properly about answer metal workers. Never.
No. Well, I want to talk about something else now.
You go ahead, Papa.
You were talking about that problem yesterday about the Indian party. Well, let me call some names here for you. Roger Alexander, who runs security. He's an Indian. Wayne Sturge,
probably.
Minister of Defense. He's an Indian. Michelle Benjamin, Minister of Culture. He's an Indian.
What's me?
Ernesto Keza, Minister of Energy. He's an Indian.
Thank you.
John Jeremy, who was sworn up because a government can have a prime minister without attorney general. John Jeremy, attorney general. Huh? Annie Robert, Minister of Housing. He's an Indian. Leroy Batty, Minister of Labor. He's an Indian. Dominic Smith, Minister of Public Utility and AI, Intelligence. He's an Indian.
Thank you.
Kennedy Sarak Singh. He's an Indian. Minister of Finance. Clyde Elder, Minister of Public Utility. He's an Indian.
Thank you.
Khadija Amir, Minister of Local Government. He's an Indian. Philip Watts, Minister of Sports and Youth Affairs. He's an Indian.
Thank you.
Jamie John, Minister of Work and Transport. He's an Indian.
Thank you.
Dr. David Lee, a Chinese. He's an Indian. Sean Thomas, Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Hey.
And CARICOM of Philip Alexander.
Thank you.
Minister of Housing. Are they Indian?
Thank you.
People just like destruction and comments, CNN is all about propaganda. Well, continue your show, brother.
Thank
I
you.
just want to remind you.
Yes, man.
Right?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you much, caller. Now, mind me, ladies and gentlemen, all the caller call this who in politics say a nice sum. And the list goes on. You're far away before you reach Felix. And it's plenty African. And you're watching African and Indian. Under the UNC, you're watching African and Indian unite to build this country. Bless good afternoon, caller.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Felix.
Good afternoon.
First time caller.
First time caller, bless good afternoon. Where you calling from?
Laventel.
Laventel in the building. Talk to us.
What about the diver's wife?
That
Because women have to take the responsibility.
Thank you very much for bringing up that.
And a woman, and they have children. What about that? Nobody is studying that. You understand?
Yes.
That is just my view.
Yes, thank you much.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you much. Caller, you said it the best. Ladies and gentlemen, so you see what's going on? And just last week, my member of parliament had to put up the young man who died when the Rig 110 had collapsed. Up to now, that situation has not been addressed properly. This government is still demanding proper answers and proper support for the family from the Rig 110 tragedy. Now, Rig 110, new rig will come in here. That rig has been functioning. Well, services made proper resources in this country. So I still don't understand why we haven't family members. And I told people that. I told them that, you see, the whole diverse structure, caller, thank you very much. And where the caller come from? Call from Laventel. So while them think that is only Indian people in Penal and Indian people in Shogunas was affected by the whole diverse tragedy and the poor decisions by the government. Thank you very much, caller. Laventel, she called from. And listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. We sitting and watching people who had the opportunity to make proper decisions that didn't make it. Today, you know what we end up with? Today, we end up with a government. I don't tell people already, Mr. Kiza is a revolutionist. Yes. Ms. Kamala Prasad Bisesa is a trooper. Mr. John Jeremy is a realist. Anil Roberts don't play. Ms. Jolene John, she don't play. But hear this. Not one of them went to school in Hogwarts. Not one of them connected to Harry Potter to say that they could just walk in with a magic wand and just poof, all your education sector you're running in. The amount of money that is absent. Now, mind me, the former administration had the opportunity, and I think I could comfortably say this, with the worst Minister of Finance in the history of the financial structure in Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Cam Imbut. Mr. Imbut had the opportunity, while he continued to defend his partner Rowley, had the opportunity to bring support to the underprivileged communities. He didn't. You know why? Because he don't live there. He had the opportunity to fix roads in communities that was badly dilapidated. He didn't fix it. You know why? Because he don't live there. So today you have to ask yourself a question, especially, ladies and gentlemen, if your member of parliament was PNM, if your member of parliament in the past 10 years was UNC, and your member of parliament survived it out, or you have a strong member of parliament. Because if the PNM members of parliament ain't get to bring support to the PNM communities, you have to be totally drunk, or somebody had to give you something to sniff. Why you would sit down and pull an argument about your member of parliament who now win an election, now going to work under Ms. Kamala Prasad Bisesa. But I explain it, and I kid you not. It ain't have a person in the People's National Movement. It ain't have a person could give us an excuse or an explanation for the condition of this country, whether it be high crime, whether it be poor business practice, whether it be poor public support. The PNM is in charge of all the poor representation, poor leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, poor support for the communities. And they did one thing very, very, very good. They made sure all the loyal supporters stay poor. This is why they could boast and tell you that PNM is an African party, Trinidad and Tobago, despite what you hear. Just in case we might have somebody who now starting to follow the politics, because based on how Miss Kamala flexing, based on how Anil Roberts and them talking, based on what Khadija Amin saying, based on what the government saying, based on what Mr. Clyde saying, based on what Mr. Onesto saying, based on what Mr. Lakramburu, just in case we have people who now start to follow politics. Let me explain. Number one, all the parties is not the same. Number two, when you're talking political, holistic representation, that is nothing from the People's National Movement. They will tell you that they build this country, but they wouldn't bother to explain to you, which is the truth, that they let loose poor Africans, they let loose poor PNMs against people who had. And they made sure, now mind me, oh, there's nobody telling me to prove it today. Now mind me, ladies and gentlemen, our responsibility is to stick to the facts. Predominantly, the PNM is an African party. The PNM had the responsibility to uplift Trinidad and Tobago. How the hell we have African men hanging themselves, killing themselves, because they lost their work 1 month ago from Forest Reserve? You know why an African man will do that? Because he was told that is the highest he could reach. That is the level of his value. Go Forest Reserve and you do a little cleaning and a little cutting, forget that now, man. Nobody to have a structured conversation. Wait now, let's finishing work early. Boy, we could buy 2 waka and use 2 3 of them youth men out there and start a whole landscaping business, boy. And if we start the landscaping business and we're doing it efficiently and we're doing it fast enough, we could end up charging cheap. That way we end up with all the lawn to cut. Next thing you know, he's big businessman. But that is not African ambition. Or so you thought. Because you don't line with Africans who just think like that. And Indian people who thinking like that, or they say, nah. When they catch the link, or they will watch the people and them religion, watch how much time they get up to pray, watch the hour in the morning they get up to pray, and don't watch the effort that they give. While all your same African family in all your space doing the same thing, and all telling the world that one family member is a lick bottom African. Because he make up his mind, I'm not making no more excuses, PNM can't continue to tie me up. How irresponsible could you be after not being able to explain where $144 billion was spent? At dear one of the African PNM supporters, after not being able to explain how the hell Stuart Young become the prime minister. Or they still owe the African PNM an explanation, because not one of them on the ground could explain. Not one of them in a village council, not one of them in the Women's League could explain to people in Trinidad and Tobago how the hell Stuart Young become the prime minister. Or they're dealing with all them stupidness and still have the audacity where a young African man, what's the man? Young, handsome man. Your family depending on you. Your wife taking the same damn strain with you, walking the same walk with you, talking the same talk with you. And you come up with that idea to kill yourself. The only thing I could see and say that come just like a man who tell his wife, you're going out the road to buy a pack of cigarettes and never come back. That is the same thing. That is the same nastiness that was done there. You feel like see it, you feel like live it. I live it. I see my father in point 14. When I talk thing where I live. So that I tell you when I see and listen and read that story, I say, nah, that man is a wicked man, boy. I see my father. He wasn't married to my mother, his first wife. Married to his first wife. My father had the opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to be the first blaster painter in Trinidad and Tobago. That's the legacy I'm moving with in the second generation. You know? When it comes to blasting and painting, if you don't call my father, you're going to call Urban Felix name. No, you ain't talking blasting and painting. There are some companies will pretend that they don't know who I am. But when it's time to actually handle the nitty-gritty of the assets of Trinidad and Tobago, trust me. And for years, I gained small money. For years, I gained small money. but I love my country. So when I get the opportunity to play the part, I go into work. And you're telling me, I see my father do the same stupidness. Listen what you do. My stepmother, get to realize, wait now, is that what's going on with you there? And he working with all the contractor, all in Saparia, all in Point. Everybody, any blasting to take place is this man, is Raymond, Super Rod. That the man who had landed. And my stepmother chain him up, or you're playing mad. You need to go up in tongue with this. Go up the road and give the big companies an opportunity. And you know what? The man actually take the chain up. Well, you know how the woman does function. They chain we up, prime we up. We ain't had nothing. We don't even know how we get through, you know. They prime we up. But go out there and give the world an opportunity to either tell you yes or tell you no. And my stepmother chain up my father going out a Point. My father went on to be a big successful blaster painter. Cheering all over the place. No problem. You know we as black man when we get you. That man told the whole world. Live all America. And you know what I live to see? We're talking about after being chained up, motivated, go out a Point, look for it, let we build the family. Never come back Point. He went and told the whole world. You know what I live to see? I live to see my father told the world he make children with. Who he didn't make children with is who he forget to make children with. And I live to see my father come back by his first wife. The same woman who motivated him from the beginning. That man come back down to Trinidad and Tobago, leave his wife in foreign, and come back down to Trinidad by his first wife. I witnessed my stepmother give him his last cup of tea. She gave him his last bowl of soup, his last plate of food. She didn't want him. She didn't offer her whole vibes. But she just said, boy, Irvin. And she always tell me before he gets sick, but anytime your father gets sick, I will help your father until he dead. Your father just didn't understand. He value. He put his penis in front of everything else. He didn't study to build nothing. And that woman hold up, she ended the bargain. And when I watch my father come back down to Point 14 and die by that woman, I say, Irvin, but you have to live everything opposite your father, boy. You have to live everything opposite your father. All I think I did not children before. I had children before, children who I never get the time, the same thing I was trying to avoid. But lack of information, lack of endorsement and thinking, well, boy, I do have my father. And in realizing I was living just like my father. In realize that. Barang and I was always tell the world, thank God. I end up with Annie. Thank God, Annie make up she mind, boy, we doing this together and we come and we have 3 beautiful children. You feel thing doesn't get hard? Them talking about this man get lay off last month. I was a successful contractor. I was a successful contractor. And I decided to support my P&M cousin in Point. Wait is you think that didn't affect my family? Wait is you think? You think my wife, I saw it that time my wife feel that she could have walked out on me because we was working us. And she begged me, Irvin, but no, don't do it. Don't do it. And my excuse for doing it, all this I tell Uncle Clifton, I say, boy, let me tell you something. If Mama was alive, she would have said, boy, your family get opportunity. Help him. Well, again, kicks our. Right at days we wake up, nothing to eat. Days we wake up thinking bright. Days we wake up, we can't send the children to school, thing not right. Yet still them children bringing the grades. Yet still my wife continue to hold she head up high. I had to be damn disrespectful, wicked, and out of timing to think about committing suicide. And come on, man. If you're by yourself, if you're single, no problem. Bless good afternoon, caller.
Good evening, my brother. How are you?
I'm okay. And yourself, talk to me.
All right, you have done, my brother. And you're talking about how your daughter became prime minister and all this kind of thing. But you have 3 stages in life people go through. You have stupidity, insanity, and dotishness. And I really stage we already did reach to put a Chinese to be a prime minister for black people. We black people.
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Rowdy, I don't know, Rowdy didn't like nobody. He didn't like his own self. That's why he portrayed so much of crap.
Yes.
Now, the fellow who killed himself, who hung himself, when they closed that refinery, I was out of a job until today.
Oh, you was
I
a
had
refinery
two children to
worker?
look after.
You was a refinery worker?
Yeah, contracted worker.
Yeah, well, no, you was a refinery worker. You among the use contracted. I was a contractor worker too long.
I work on every plant and every shutdown was a foreman, a supervisor, general foreman.
Oh, so let me ask you a question.
I didn't come.
When they close off the refinery, just for clarity so the public can hear, when they close off the refinery, you was one of the workers. I know you're a contractor. I don't know the answer, but still I ask. You was one of the workers who collect a luxurious lump sum and gone home with your family.
No, but I didn't collect a thank you.
Thank you.
As a contracted worker, you have the benefits there. It's just a worker to get paid. The only good thing I have to make my salary. I have to make my price for my work.
Right.
Right. So how come I didn't commit suicide? Me that I don't work until now.
Thank you.
It took me 3 years before I get my NIS. I buy a waka. And I support my neighbor in yard. Sometimes I got 3-4 yards for the month. I collect a little $800-900.
Thank you.
And I look after my children. Still, it was hard, but what I could do?
Yes.
I know I had to get and 2 grandchildren at the time.
Thank you.
So if I did commit suicide, what happened to them? Right? I don't see the reason for nobody committing suicide with pressure on the backside.
Yeah.
They feel a shit.
That is it.
Right?
That is it.
Right? They as you're saying, they don't want to take the responsibility as a man.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, my brother. All my friends is African. All my co-workers used to be African.
Yes, man.
Right?
Yeah, man.
And I think today, they might still come by me. I was cricket in the night when cricket going on and things.
Partners, we know how to live, you know.
Yeah.
It's just the politicians and the people it's just the people, the politicians are them close to. And not we politicians, the former administration politicians. It's them who marketing that stupidness. Them who marketing that.
They're marketing that job.
Yeah.
They're marketing that for a long time since Eric Williams. Eric Williams' daughter was going to $3 million to lend the government of Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you.
She said at DC9. She said at DC9. Huh? I don't know why I asked him.
Doctor.
When I look at it, when I hear Eric Williams say everything south of the Caroni, he care about that.
Yeah.
But north of the Caroni are not except the money that going in the treasury. And that is what they take and cut your ass with. Right? So people have to think now. People have to think.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like PNM people, I don't know, will they drink or will they rob, will they eat or what? I don't know who go over this people and all this crap penny and then, oh God, boy, you are doing talking us that shit. You have Marvelous Mama talking us that stupidness. Then you have Lollipop talking us that crap on one side. I don't know people listen to them enough.
I don't understand it, but
I don't even want to listen to that I don't even want to listen to that press conference with them. Because you get nothing with sense. You understand? You get nothing with sense. But at telling people, you see this Prime Minister we have here now, it is 2010 to 2015 is a different meet in one community.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
And you see the she doesn't really have that, so she ministers are them.
Thank you.
Well, better them boy better back in the crease.
Yes, man.
Because we'll be onto them. All right, my brother, let me leave you here now because somebody else might want to call in.
Thank you much, big brother. Thank you much for your contribution.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know the conversation. Woe unto the shepherd that lead the sheep astray. So woe unto you that comfortably living in poverty, that continue comfortably giving your family an excuse that the reason why we don't have nothing is because of a different ethnicity. Woe unto you who sit back and accept foolishness and refuse to speak up. Woe unto you. It's the same 2010. Listen. It's the same 2010 to 2015. Nothing changed, laugh out loud, but we building plenty of us. We are there so and seeing the same games, but small. Yeah, what's going on? If that is what it is, make you sleep at night, no problem with that, right, Blue? You no problem with that. If that is what make you sleep at night, What have us not sleeping at night right now is the fact that we still asking where we $144 billion gone. We $2.6 billion. We still asking. Matter of fact, as of yesterday, you know, I'm glad that you're over here. I'm really glad that you're over here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll call somebody who knows somebody, because if my prime minister asking, it is our responsibility, seeing that our prime minister asked the question, to make sure that every single person in Trinidad and Tobago is aware of what is being asked, right? So seeing that you're typing up and you know 648, we are in the age of information. You just ask AI or Google, laugh out loud. So listen, I'm giving you something to type and ask Google here, Blue. Okay, Blue? Let me give you something here.
Guns and ammunition is transacted through Club Deja Vu in Cuba. Is this also true? It is alleged that Minister Cummins has a connection with this club. Is that true? It is also alleged that Cader Hercules is sent as enforcer to acquire state lands on behalf of Foster Cummins. Is that true? It is alleged that current owners or occupiers are offered a peppercorn rate to vacate lands, and if they refuse, thuggery and harassment is used to remove them. Is this true, Foster? It is alleged that no member of the TTPS assigned to the Cuba station can touch Foster Cummins because they stand the risk of being transferred. Is that true? It is further alleged that raids on the gangs situated on the railway road Cuba are not successful because they get tipped off. Is that true? Remember you told.
So you have what for me, Blue? And when you go up on Google and you send us the information as much as you have when it comes to Foster Cummins. You tell us and prove to us that Foster Cummins was a faithful man to his wife. Yeah, no cheering on the outside. You tell us when it comes to Tobago, never did no projects. And if he did any project, everything was done above board. You tell us Foster Cummins did not utilize his political influence to receive loans. You tell us. You go up on Google and send back all that information to we, please. When you come back, you go tell we which part to go and find it. Okay? Well, the jokers, yes, you're over here talking and having all this other conversation. It is my responsibility to make sure and continue reminding Trinidad and Tobago. These people would not be continually given the opportunity to feel that they could manipulate something. Blue, still have something I'm asking you here. See if you can get some information on this here for me.
East-West corridor and all of that. This is their words, eh? This, by the way, signed by the Assistant Commissioner of Police Special Branch. Their words.
Listen.
It was alleged that Cummings had conducted unscrupulous business through the aforementioned companies as well as the Housing Development Corporation. How many people in your communities are bidding for a little project, trying to start a little?
No. The reason why I decided to pull that piece of clipping is because I don't know if you miss here, ladies and gentlemen, that our representative from the United National Congress is actually quoting from paperwork from the police. So you could take it and rest it on a ledge. It's just that my members of parliament, my persons who actually wear UNC jerseys, we have to say is the ledge. But when we quoting from the police.
More.
You understand?
Because they lost their job and they want to get a little end.
If that make you sleep at night, no problem. But again, the information has already been displayed. Foster Cummins' character is so clean that even Clive Paul here in Point Fortin, who wasn't a contributing factor for the past 30 how much years in Point Fortin, you know, he was able to be employed under Foster Cummins. The evidence shows that. Collecting 20 how much thousand. See if you can get it on Google for me now. Where I need you to get on Google for us is the resume of Mr. Clive Paul. We drop in for Foster Cummins to get the work. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. We, the people, we have to continue to be real, and we must be reasonable. People will try to come into your spaces to still try to tell you about Mr. Wayne Sturge. Again, we already know Mr. Wayne Sturge is no saint. Let me be real. Mr. Wayne is no Catholic priest, he is no pundit, he is no Baptist preacher. So we are aware of that. But what we also know about Mr. Wayne Sturge is that he's a criminal defense lawyer. So no idiot, especially no loser, cannot tell me they went to visit Mr. Sturge and you're 100% sure your PNM and you're visiting Mr. Sturge is something you went to beg for. So no problem. But the fact that you went by a criminal defense lawyer and you saw somebody who is alleged under criminal activities, you see Mr. Sturge talking to a client, and you take that, bring that to the public domain and tell the public that Sturge collect $200 or $20 million to fight UN. Listen to the party, you know, UNC election. And Sturge now, first he don't have no ambition. He take 20 million to fight UNC whole election. Listen to the level of noticiousness, you know, to fight UNC whole election. And he didn't lobby for Attorney General because Sturge had no ambition. He didn't lobby for Minister of Homeland Security because he had no ambition. No. The only Africans that in politics and have no ambition is PNM Africans. Miss Penelope Beckers, obviously, the conditioner she constituency. Marvin Gonzalez, Diego Martin West, Hans Devine, Rowley. Take it in. Dominic. Take it in. Nayan Gasbidali, Brian Manning. Drive through. Point no start a change. I tell all need to drive to Trinidad and Tobago before UNC read the first budget. And all will understand what we're dealing with. All will understand the type of neglect that this administration inherited. You will understand what we're dealing with. So them can pull out one PNM person for me who was working Forest Reserve. I understand that. But I under the impression if you work in Forest Reserve, it's kind of lazy to have one work. Forest Reserve, you ain't mining chicken, you ain't doing, well, no, obviously, you wasn't hanging around Indian people. You stick around PNM Africans who tell you that you go work Forest Reserve, and then when PNM send hampers, you go get hampers. So no level of ambition actually come into some people's head. And then the wife, she sit down waiting because her responsibility while she supports her husband is to help bring up the children with morals and values. And while this lady thinking, oh, she pick up a good man, thing ain't bright. He can't give me everything that I want right now. He can't spoil me as I know I deserve right now. But I go bill with me, man. This I sure that is on your man head. I go bill with me, man. And you now decide to put rope around your neck and listen the heights. It's Forest Reserve you was working. And there I was coursing out on the men them who lost their work in Petrotrin and commit suicide. Only to realize look at that. Thank you very much. One give laptop. The other one take it away. You telling me these people are the bad people? And them over here pulling argument, brothers and sisters. Let me explain something to you.
Because they lost their jobs and they want to get a little end.
Let me explain something to you. Despite who tell you what, despite who saying what they feel to say, we the people of Trinidad and Tobago have a responsibility to ourselves. They're asking the question, when the book grant is going to be delivered. They're asking the question, when every child go get a steel pan. And listen, I Gasbidali asking the question, when the schools in her electoral district is going to be repaired. Ladies and gentlemen, my responsibility on a daily basis is to continue to keep it factual and make sure and paint the vivid picture for you. The picture is that the last administration, which was led by Rowley, which is the PNM administration, captained by Stuart Young, Rohan Sunanan, Kazim Hussein, Faris Alwari, and Rowley, captained by that squad. Ladies and gentlemen, that one government was able to borrow the most money than all the governments put together in this country. All your PNM people coming up on all your page and talking to all you. PNM, my number is 3240844. Call in and justify your government if you want. Today's Thursday. If you could defend what PNM did to us, call in. Call in and give us all the blessings. Tell me about the adequate sidewalks that you have. Tell me about the adequate employment that you live through and experience. Tell us about how low cost of living have been for you. Tell us that your grandparents get increase in pension. You break it down to me. Send the information. Tell we that we who not supporting the PNM, the government renew all, they went and negotiate all through CARICOM for the PNM oil business. But we who not supporting PNM, they didn't negotiate with business. The PNM did nothing for the salary. Nothing. Now we hope. Bless good afternoon, caller. Bless good afternoon. Talk to us.
Hey, my brother, I forgot to tell you talk about one thing, boy.
Oh, talk to me.
PNM cannot justify nothing. Because listen to me, we are a third world country. Our maximum borrowing is supposed to be about $50 billion.
Thank you.
Anytime you go over the 75 billion, you're going to first world status.
Thank you.
And I tell you, dotation is what prevails in Trinidad when coming to PNM. They have no sense. They literally they don't know what the hell going on. Right? Because they wouldn't go on with it. All the listeners to this in a backside on top podium talking as a and think me that stupid is about the street.
Yes.
Let it go so research that they can find out $50 billion is top borrowing for third world country. How do you go over that? You go on first world.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right?
Thank you very much for clarifying that. Once you're over that, and what the caller saying making sense, the type of budgets that we have been reading, the problem we end up with, the former administration, they do 10 budgets. Our government still dealing with our whole PNM budget, you know. So when you listen to people like Jennifer Frederick and them feel like people is dunce in this country to ask about when public servants getting the 10%, I hope they give every public servant except she. When public servants getting the 10%, what level of crap and rubbishery is that? All you tell people all they educated, all you tell people all they have common sense, and you have common sense, and you know that your government read the budget. You full well know that your government didn't plan to give no 10%. But you're telling UNC to find 10% to give them it when they didn't read our budget yet. This is the level of adultishness what taking place in this country. This is the level of foolishness that taking place in this country. This is why now they're trying their best and they're sending the provokeful conversation and they're trying to tease Indian people to come out. You see this? See what Anthony Williams come out and do? Anthony Williams here in point 14. Going back and forth, all are we on social media having we conversation. You come out and you reach to the point now that really and truly you're back against the wall. You come out and you call we Indian brother a coolie. And when the man call you back a nigger, your African friends and them feel all you could attack the man. But the fact that you was on the man was on his page and you was on your page, you pull the man content and you call the man that name. You call the man that disrespectful name. And the man answer you, I like with the man. The man get emotional, but before he close off, he make sure and clarify. Felix, yes, Felix, he said, I ain't talking to all the Africans. Anthony I'm talking to. Bless good afternoon, caller.
I don't want to stay too long, but I don't remember something. So, wait a minute. That $144 billion that they borrow, right?
Yeah.
That is 900 billion dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And add to the 600 billion that it said,
Uh-huh.
we can consider the red, right? $1.5 trillion.
Yes.
That's $1.5 trillion, my brother. That's our next record.
That next record.
Yeah, the first, second, and third highest murders. And the fourth highest by Manem.
Yes.
And the fifth and sixth and seventh highest by Rowley.
Yeah.
But they have the highest and everything, you know.
Yeah. And you take
like
that.
$1.5 trillion. So where that money going, right?
And what's man? With all of that, that wasn't good enough, you know. They didn't break enough record. They still leave 4 man in our pipeline, you know.
Well, yeah, we know all that, and we ain't talk about the man who died by the worst detail plan. The man from the construction Hoggins,
yeah,
Hoggins guy. Nothing has come out of that yet.
Nothing.
Right?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
So we in dire state to government, boy. Let me tell you something. PNM should not see power for the next 50 years.
Nah.
You know what I say?
Yeah, that's why I make sure and tell Michaela and them we disappointed in the way how them campaign the last time.
50 years. Well, I could be in front of that, but 50 years, they should be opposition, man. Every time they in power, they matter the country.
PNM had no reason to be around the parliament. The decades of damages that they have done to the structure of the constitution of Trinidad and Tobago on the whole, PNM have no reason to be around the parliament building.
No. People say protested when they walk into parliament. But they are the ones that have the country how it is right now. With crime, because I saw the Vice President of America spoke about Trinidad and Tobago from PNM to Washington. Right? So that crime just didn't happen on the 20th of April. You understand?
Yeah.
So we in dire state, boy. And they want answers. The PNM want answers. They have the country like this, man. Anyway, thanks, boy. Thanks.
Thank you much, caller. Thank you much for your contribution. Ladies and gentlemen, based on what it is we're saying here, and this is why I continue to ask you to stay focused and stay blessed. Yeah, there's a next one. Look, somebody text me and say, as we on the topic, what about the Coast Guard man? The Coast Guard man and his family. So this is why telling people, the former administration closed off no chapter. All right. Let me give the benefit of the doubt. And people have an opportunity to tell me this afternoon, Irvin, you're lying. Forget CPEP, forget everything else. Let me just do a breakdown, an assessment of where we at. Best good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon, Mr. Felix, and everybody on the chat.
Blessed afternoon. Talk to me.
Well, I want to play devil's advocate today, you know. The PNM did a lot of good, you know.
Talk to me.
You see, when they thief out all that money, they teach you how to be resilient. They teach you how to think, how to be thrifty.
Thank you.
How to not to make them same stupid mistake that we used to be making before.
Yes.
How not to believe them.
Point.
You know?
Yeah, point.
And if a year we continue to recognize that when I hear these people and them trying to trap us into slavery,
yeah,
understand? We have that knowledge already.
Yeah.
That they did it to us once before. And if you hear you get trapped by it a second time, well, then you have to really be done. You didn't learn nothing.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, man.
If then spend, as the gentleman was saying just now, $1.5 trillion, right? every one of us supposed to be a multi-millionaire in this country,
Yes.
right? Not just have 1 million, we have to have millions in we name,
For real.
right? And we import all them Caribbean countries on them for them people and them to work for. Because we want the opportunity to work again. We had to make work
Yes.
for other people.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Look at Qatar and them places on them. Them people, them citizens and them don't have to work, you know.
For real.
Them don't have to do nothing, you know. Them just get a stipend every month, you know. When them children them have to go to school, right? Them just go to school, you know. They don't have to pay a cent to go to university or anything like that, you know.
Yeah.
And they think about it now. Watch where we were.
Yeah.
The kind of funding that we have, and we still a backward nation. Can't catch up with technology or nothing. All we could do is just talk. Because we have nothing going for we other than talk.
Yeah.
And now when we get a new government, hoping that something beneficial will happen. But I telling you, we have to look at this thing seriously. If we really want change, we gotta bite the bullet now.
Yeah, that what we doing. That is what we doing.
And if we don't bite the bullet now, within the next 2.5 years, then you're going to see proper progress.
That is it.
If the people are honest with themselves, if Trinidad and Tobago honest with themselves and the government honest with us, they will let us know. Take for instance, I pick sense out of nonsense when the Prime Minister said that she given Carl 2 years to put themselves in order.
Thank you. Yeah.
You see the yardstick? You see the yardstick? That is what we have to use. We have to think wisely. That if you expect anything in this present time, no. There are things to fulfill, they're going to try to do it. But I telling you, you gotta bite the bullet and bite it real hard. Trying to mash up your mouth.
True.
So just let the people and you see them fellas who bumping the gum and talking this dotishness about who kill who and who responsible for them kind of dotishness. Every one of them who talking that talk, just trying to ease their conscience from recognizing that they are the ones who are responsible for every single criminal act that taking place in this country and all this sufferation that taking place. It's just trying to take shame out of their face.
True.
Have a blessed evening, Mr. Felix.
Thank you very much for your contribution, caller. Thank you much. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, family and friends, this is our next topic and all that is being used like is my government who set the structure. We already know that the United States of America, President Trump, put Trinidad and Tobago on 15% tariff. Now, as much as we deal with the whole tariff situation, you can't blame my government for that. Bless good afternoon, caller.
Yes, brother, here's the next one.
Talk to me.
Only remember when we said we only had 3 days thing?
Yes.
3 days of money?
Money.
All right. One don't come and say that Putin was never the largest trader of forex. That is Chinese.
Yeah.
Then you have the little secretary go up. Again.
Yeah.
See, hey, secretary was making money, boy, and right?
Yeah.
And then some don't see it, one come and say Petrochin was a strain on the treasury.
Yes.
On the economy.
Yeah.
Petrochin fight their own battle, they never went to the treasury for nothing. Malcolm Jones packed that.
Yes.
Malcolm Jones packed that on them. Malcolm Jones made 2 or 3 plans and then start yet. He better have another plan down in the east, down in the west. He will finish 2 tanks, welfare body work. The WGTL plant, 4 or 5 tanks, just under the hospital there. Right? They must have things do that work.
Yeah.
That plan worked twice.
Yeah.
Kill a man. Up to now, that wife, I hope she sue them. Right? I hope she sue Rowley and sue her tongue for that.
Yeah. True.
Right? Because that boy has no right to their day. Right?
Yeah,
So
man.
go, let me tell you something. One shipment I'll take is a pay petroleum for 3 months.
Uh-huh.
One shipment is a pay petroleum for 3 months. So I don't know where probably them talking about. I was telling them about dust and a dunce here, people in Trinidad and Tobago.
But it's
They
what,
do it. I tell you.
Caller, what happens? This is why I explaining to people in Trinidad and Tobago. Rowley and Stuart Young and Faris and them knows nothing about the oil and gas industry. They knows nothing about
Exactly.
it. They just learn to pronounce some words.
All right, hold on. We had a Calypso field outside, so we close to Tobago. What become of that?
For real.
All them things that ramped it up now is things that them didn't seem out.
Yes.
You know, when we talk about we know of the government, oil and gas was for the people of Trinidad and Tobago to assist in all them things.
Yes.
In groceries and all them things to keep up the prices. But no, he wanted to sit down with the people back. And that's exactly what you do.
Remember,
Remember
Grace Gas once I raced it twice. And didn't think I could race it again.
Nobody riot yet.
Madness.
Yeah.
See, that doesn't cite
He had
violence.
8.7 in the heritage. About 11 billion in Forex.
Yeah.
She left 5 billion in the banks for business. Now you hear some donkey from San Fernando East talking about we're in a better place now. After 9 years at $22 billion, you talk about $8 billion, 9.5 years after, that we're in a better place.
Yeah.
Man had to be rolling in the blasted grave to have a stupid child. So, what about the $482 million for the rapid rail?
Yeah.
What about the 400 million for Project Pride? $1 money, where the 22 billion going from COVID?
Thank you.
It didn't spend on the people here.
The $13
Because
billion.
I know 3 people get out.
The 13
I know 3
billion they
people
say they
get out in
borrow.
my
Yeah, they said they
and
borrow
they didn't
13
get a
billion.
grant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boy, what's that? These people them should just drop down on their head.
Oh, God, oh.
I hope when they meet the devil, he take the hot part of the fork and rest it in the rain.
Yeah.
The cold part of the hot part outside so they can't pull it out. You know.
For real. For real.
Boy, what's that? These people are sick, boy, and people still believe in them and they shut it up. And every day they want to intimidate the woman. But I know she better than them.
People not believing
Because
them.
any other after that, them see a human being.
For real. For real.
But,
For real.
all right, my brother.
Thank you much for your contribution, caller. Thank you much. I must say, people not believing them. You know, it's just that people have been, it's been culturally embedded in some of the African people in this country that them not seeing when we talk about good roads, when we talk about actually fixing the structure as CPEP, them not hearing that, you know, if they actually get the opportunity, if they actually utilize the airs, you're going to see how easy these people turn in, you know. But they are embedded and they are encouraged to continue being ignorant. This is why you want to for a long time, you wanted to follow a PNM venue, and this is why I'm glad the people of Trinidad and Tobago leaving them with the drinks. I'm glad people leaving them with a meeting. Because they did people that for generations. It's decades now they're doing that. All you come, we are meeting this evening. No bother with them, you know. Them just working 10 days. When CPEP was installed, no bother with them. Them just working CPEP. Them don't have nothing. Them don't own nothing. And when you look at those who saying it, it's African saying that to African. African talking down on African. It's African who teach other ethnicities how to treat Africans. Wait till you think. You think you and a group of people going to university. Everybody pass out. But 3 people did phenomenally well. 1 African, an Indian, and a Syrian looking. You are 100% sure if that African not connected to other African and people seeing now this man looking like he's serious about the thing, that African is an African that would make it. But as you want to be African and start to conduct yourself like PNM Trinidad African, because it have African and it have PNM Trinidad African, you know. This is what I was telling my boy this morning when he answered Anthony Williams. It have Africans and it have PNM Africans. We fall under Africans. We have no problem. I have no problem leaving home and going to a Indian function. You know. I have no problem going and lime in a Rasta place. I have no problem going to a Baptist prison. I have no problem heading to a Catholic church. I have no problem doing them things. Then it had the Africans, who is PNM Africans, that are stalk spirituality. Go on PNM page and listen what it is they have been doing for years. They will sit down and keep a comprehensive conversation, especially when it's Diwali time, about the Hindu religion. When they're ready, they blaspheme against the Baptists. Now mind me, the same Baptists who couldn't even ring the bell, their own African bloodline, who fought to worship in a country, they still don't sit down and bad talk them people. What hurt me with it? I stand up and see allegedly corrupt Foster Cummins take the Baptist faith and utilize it as a papi show in this country, fully well knowing that he was an open Bible. Fully well knowing that. You know that. So your papi show the entire religion for political mileage, and honestly thought that God would have keep you in position. When it was understood to me that that is what first, I say, ole mad. No. They say, boy, no, boy. That man is an open Bible, boy. I said, so many times, papi show that man, papi show any citizens. So let you know, realize that. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't take people religion and try to use people religion for personal gain. You don't do them thing. That is what the PNM do over the years. They can't control the Indian population, so they wait until Diwali. And then the same bloggers who they could talk to, the same propagandists who they could talk to, same people, you know, they allow them to disrespect. They allow them to drag. Listen how they just talk about Jehovah's Witness. Listen. That is what they do. So from the time you hear a man say, Madam Speaker, I went to Lekito, and you get the whole crowd to live by that. Support that for years. On top of that, you still, all again, Carpet Rowley and them, that man still was able to convince Patrick Manning's son. We're talking about the same Patrick Manning, who the same people from San Fran, the same people from Balize House spit in the father face. You know. You convince Brian Manning to go against his father's legacy. So that means you was able to corrupt the offspring. Manning, you know. And up to today, Brian Manning stands in Parliament. He would condemn every single structure the UNC put in place. Brian Manning forget the history. The other day, I listened to him talk about laptops. I listened to him talk about schools. I said, what the hell are you in here? This is Brian Manning, the offspring of Patrick Manning, you know. The same Patrick Manning who, when he was Prime Minister, lost election. Basdeo Pandey was given the opportunity, come into office, focus, understand his responsibility, and listen. The families in Trinidad and Tobago cannot continue to struggle to educate the children. So Basdeo Pandey, that was leading the United National Congress, implemented dollar for dollar. That means if it takes $10,000 to educate your child, you as the parent come up with 5,000, we the government will subsidize 5,000. So your child will get help, the family will get help. The same Brian Manning saw his father win election and come back and say, what? Pandey, you feel you're bright? It's not that bright. Mr. Pandey was bright. Mr. Pandey saw the lazy structure when it comes to educating the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Mr. Pandey has been listening to the Mahasabha, who understand that we can't wait for PNM to bring school and education to our structure. You don't try to tell me not no hickory, dickory, no duck, no mouse run up, no clock, and no Jack and Jill run over some damn hill. We have to bring proper education for we children. So Pandey, when given the opportunity, understand that he have a responsibility. They could tell you where they want about airport. That is not the only thing that he did. When he was the prime minister, flour, you could have eat. You could have eat. You could have drink. Mr. Brian Manning totally forget when his father came back and won election. What was implemented? His father opened the gate so that people, once your children making the grade, and Basdir Pandey holistically supported it. Let's go, man. Let we open the door and open the doors of opportunity so that the families don't feel the burdens. You know why that could affect Mr. Pandey? Oh, you're that wrongs, man. You know why wanting a laptop for the children will affect Miss Kamala Posad Bisesa? Because she's a wrongs woman. You know why wanting jobs and needing increase in employment in Trinidad and Tobago is so important to us? Because we're wrongs people. So only the people who actually connected to the truth, the shortcomings will affect them. It will affect them. And when Patrick Manning opened the gate, the conversation is once you make the grade. So listen what I'm telling you. All right, Basdir Pandey started it, dollar for dollar. Patrick Manning opened the gate. All right, no problem. Miss Kamala Posad Bisesa bring laptops. While she brought laptops, she brought early learning childhood centers. And while she brought that, she built the campus down in DB. So that is her contribution to education and more. But we could just call them three. I want to ask Trinidad and Tobago, somebody please, or they call in, please, whether PNM or UNC, please, and now break it down there. So tell me if I am being biased this afternoon. Please, in Mr. Patrick time, we could clarify, no, in Mr. Pandey time, we clarify dollar for dollar. In Mr. Manning's time, the gate was open. We could, in Miss Kamala time, first term, we get laptops, early learning childhood center, we get DB campus. What the hell, when it comes to education, especially under the Rowley-led administration, what the hell is Nayan Gasbidali claim to fame? Alan Ram Logan, UNC attorney, make his jail and out on bail. What is this? You are saying UNC minister made his jail for murder. Pandey also made some jail. Okay. And with that, you say that to say that that dispute the fact that when Mr. Pandey was the prime minister. Freeport, blessed good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I see we reached the 700 mark. I say thank you very much to each and every one of our loyal brothers and sisters. Blessed good afternoon, Freeport. Talk to me.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, man, afternoon time.
Gasby Dolly only come to fame after they lose the election. It's only after they lose the election she know all what he's supposed to do.
She's ready to work now.
Yes, now she's ready to work. When she had no power, when she had power to do anything she want, she couldn't open her mouth. And I want to tell Mr. Karim Marcel or Marcel Karim, wherever he is.
Yeah.
All the Bajan talk you're talking and all the war you're looking for. I want you to declare war on Bitam people and Lavandil people for robbing that man last night who stopped to help somebody was in distress.
That look bad,
They beat up the man.
That look bad,
They beat up. Yes.
Oh my God. That look bad, boy. And you know what?
Yeah, man, this thing.
You know what sad? He even put a statement about that, you know.
He can't make no statement because he's a dunce.
Go ahead.
When whosoever bestow Rowley with doctorate, they will bestow that law degree on him.
Yeah.
He didn't learn. He didn't go to school for that. And you see these things that happening in Laventille, they're happening today, you know.
Yeah.
You see where that school is, I think is opposite CJ. I can't remember the name of the school, if that is is that what you said there?
Yeah. Yes,
The
man.
government quarry was there. I used to work in that quarry. And you know what used to happen when people go into citrus growers with the orange and thing? People used to just climb up on the truck and start to throw down the people orange like they're mad in the road.
Yeah.
I see the lorry man come out to stop them, and he had to run for his life. So this thing happened long time, and it can't change, and the politician in the area, they're not prepared to change it.
True. True.
And I want to talk to something again, boy. I'm hearing some allegation. I'm not accusing nobody.
Who is that now?
But I would like Miss Kamala Prasad-Bissessar and the UNC to clear it up, because somebody put up a video that a contractor from Santa Cruz, and I think one of them from somewhere in the Sandy Grande or Valencia area, donate $20 million to the UNC, hoping to get CPEP contract, and now they get no CPEP contract. And I understand it's them who calling all the shot now. I just hear that. I'll send the video to you so you could check it out when you have time.
I'll go check it out.
Right? So, you know, there's a lot of thing going on now. But as I say, I can't pin it on to the UNC until we get foundation.
This is the same way in Sturge conversation, eh?
What that include?
Eh?
All that the 4 or 5 death threat included in that same thing.
Oh.
So we don't know if somebody making mischief, but the only thing about it, they're not calling name. And but I don't know what really going on.
Yesterday I read that story there, and that story basically what it is I read from Ms. Kamala Prasad-Bissessar is that yes, we really have 4 people under death threat, but I ain't listen nobody navigate nothing about the contractor. Now I see a contractor name call in the public domain, and the contractor came out and say he understood good, so he don't understand where that piece of information coming out from. The contractor addressed it.
Well, what could happen by it could be PNM mischief.
No, but why saying is, as I tell people yesterday, we don't know if Mr. Wayne Sturge in the mix of that or not in the mix of it. But what it is I do know is that Mr. Wayne Sturge is a defense lawyer. And this beginning argument started with somebody from the PNM saying that they went by Mr. Sturge's office and see him talking to a criminal. So my thing is, if Mr. Wayne Sturge is a defense lawyer, you can't go there and see he talking to somebody who is allegedly a criminal. Obviously, he's a defense lawyer. He wouldn't be talking to people with land issues or domestic violent issues. He will be talking to people with high-profile issues. So if you go there and you see him talking to somebody, I still don't understand how that means that it's $20 million in conversation. I don't understand it. And then too, here's my next thing, here's my next thing too. The narrative that they're trying to give us is that Wayne Sturge is the person who cut the deal for UNC to get the 20. Well, one media house saying 20, the next person saying 22 million. But either way, they're saying it's Wayne Sturge who cut the deal. Wayne Sturge is not a lawyer, correct me if I'm wrong?
Yes, I know he's a lawyer.
So Wayne Sturge is a lawyer and cutting our money to get that amount of money and didn't cut the deal with UNC to become the Attorney General? Is it that Wayne Sturge don't have ambition at all? If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, but here, oh God, it is fair for all the PNM lawyers to talk to criminal, non-criminal. So what is you trying to tell me?
That is why I said.
Because you is a UNC somebody, all right, let me say it's true that criminal he was talking to. What about the fella agree that he do wrong thing and he want to get some advice, what to do to change his life or something.
And
he can't talk to Winston.
And this
He
is
could
what
go and talk to Faris Alwari.
thank you. And this is what I'm saying, because people get to know like we was mining Winsturge before Winsturge and that politics. Winsturge is originally a criminal defense lawyer. So we're trying
And
to
he was that before he come into politics.
thank you. Thank you.
It's years now. Winston's fighting for people.
Yeah. Yeah. So that why you see that there? If something going on, you see the death threats thing, that why I remind my government, please do not forget Khadija main name call. Please do not forget certain names call. Because I noticed trying to focus on Wayne Sturge. I noticed that.
And somebody from CPEP name called too.
Yeah. Yes.
So because you're trying to do the right thing, you have to be a criminal.
Thank you. Thank you,
right?
people.
And the next thing I want to ask you, boy,
Mm-hmm.
how long you feel a warplane would take from Venezuela to reach the Queen's Park Savannah?
I ain't taking too long.
Well, there is a lot of stupid people in this country. They can't remember Maduro was telling the PNM, if all you need my help, talk to me.
Yeah.
What you talking to PNM and Maduro talking to each other for when they're in opposition? Because next thing, you know, Independent Day parade going on, and all you hear from above, rat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat, and all kind of people get killed, and nobody is studying about safety and who come in there.
Yeah.
Remember the majority of your defense force and safety people would be there. High dignities would be there.
Yeah.
And Maduro already promised PNM to help them.
Maduro need help with
And I say it. I never say it on this program, but I say it already on the Gong Report.
Mm-hmm.
Maduro intention is to overthrow the UNC and appoint back the PNM. So he could get $1 million US a month from drug and gas.
Maduro could try to do that. He could try. He could have that discussion. He and his defense minister. Them could sit down in Venezuela and talk all the way they want. Them could do all the way they want. Once they do it over in Trinidad, them could do all what they have to do. Because I am telling people, Trinidad, let me tell you something, partners. Trinidad and Tobago have allies. I am telling you without a doubt, if PNM did win the last election, Trinidad and Tobago would have already been under sanctions. 15% tariff, we go work on that. We government will have the relevant conversation to try to make the relevant adjustments. But I rather 15% tariff than being under sanctions. I rather that.
And this morning, a guy called on the Ground Report and said, don't study Maduro and Venezuela. Where we live in, boy?
Don't study Maduro and
we living in Maduro backyard.
Yeah.
They don't want Trump to take no part. But the Americans have a lot of interest in Trinidad. So if they have to protect the interests, they have to do it.
Yeah.
And if anybody asks me for a vote, yes, let Trump come here, set up a base or whatever, protect we.
Freeport.
Because Maduro already say or how they call it, right? He have 4.5 million
yeah.
soldiers ready for battle.
Ready.
who they're going to battle.
Well, while like with them, he had them ready down by he, so them go sort out that down by them. People on the phone line,
Right.
let me take this call.
Yeah, okay, take it.
Thank you much for your contribution, Freeport. Bless good afternoon, caller.
Everyone, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Talk to me.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad that this present government did not decide to go and join the conga line with Maduro, you know.
Boy, watch
Because
me.
if they did that,
Let me show you something.
Trump would have to
Big man thing, big
Yeah.
man thing. If you really check the thing good, Miss Kamala and all tried to help them, you know. They did try to
Yeah,
help
I
them
know
in the
that.
first time, but then them make up their mind, them on criminal thing, them is bad on. Them is
But
bad
I will
on.
tell you something too. The day the US decided to wage war on Venezuela, bet your bottom dollar, the flooding country who want to run away will run straight away, you know.
Yeah. True.
People don't realize that. People
True.
fail to realize that. No, my thing about it is, annexing too, right? When Stuart Young and them was only talking about dragon. They never talk about ExxonMobil.
Thank
All
you.
of a sudden now, he signed off on ExxonMobil. I think
Yeah.
one of the PNM senators talking about ExxonMobil corrupt.
Now it corrupt.
No. Brian Manning say if they come in Trinidad, they would cause oil spill. You know you have a crystal ball. Well, if that's the case, he better give me the lotto numbers because he
Brian-
can see into the future.
Brian Manning have an idea the condition his government left the oil fields and them. He know that. He know he have an idea the condition. He might be a novice
he's
when it comes
ashamed.
to oil and gas, but he have an idea.
Yeah, but he shameless fella because anytime anybody treat my father bad,
Come on, up,
me is sticking wrong you, me is coming wrong you, know. And if I get a
Come on,
chance to deal with you different, I will deal with you different. But I need to go and stick up under you after what you say about my father and do my father. Yeah, madman. You don't love your father.
Call I ain't preach, testify. You know. You can't do my father that and feel
Yeah,
me all
sir.
good in the hood.
You understand? But then again, if he could do that to his own blood, you could imagine what he could do to we who strangers. Yeah, partner, we will talk. Nice.
Thank you much. And this is what it is about. It are people who will come up and they go tell you about Exxon robbing Guyana and Exxon doing this and Exxon doing that. People come to tell you that the government of Trinidad and Tobago, ladies and gentlemen, let me explain something to you. The government of Trinidad and Tobago, especially the energy sector, we in good hands. You listen to what I'm telling you? Mr. Munilal don't play where he don't know, and on top of that, what he don't know, obviously, based on the United National Congress, they ain't afraid to ask. So when we explain to you that the former PNM administration, especially those who was controlling energy, they were drastically, politically, and when it comes to oil and gas, dons, they were novice. Stuart Young, it have no conversation when nobody could explain to me to tell me that Stuart Young have experience with that. There's nobody could explain to me that Rowley, who was the former prime minister, have experience with oil and gas. They did not have the experience. They were able to persuade the voters. Because once people vote to keep you in power, you have an opportunity to continue being an embarrassment to the nation. Just like how Blue here. Look Blue up on the comment section here. Embarrassing the whole family. Blue, I hope that your wife and your children see this so that they would expect that you would kill yourself just now. So your wife will move on before it reaches to that. Because they're continuing to make excuses for corruption. This is what they're doing. And then have the audacity to send it to me, to ask for me to comment on a man who leave his wife and his children hang up. His wife work in the same place. God didn't bring the idea to she. That was telling all you, as black men globally, for some strange reason, we always take the easy way out. And I'm asking my black men, it's time for we to break those generational curses. It's time for we to send them thing back to the pits of hell. We have a young woman, we have a black woman and them being used by political entities. PNM use we mothers, we aunts, and we nieces, we sisters, who they didn't use, they slept with. They use them because we refuse to be the head of the home. We refuse to bring positive support. We refuse to acknowledge when we under pressure, but we under pressure together. So when we having money together. We refuse to live that kind of life. When thing bad, we good with me wife. Thing bad, me and Bernadette, we go make it. Thing bad. And as God bouncy head and open the door and you can walk, where you could make a money, you could buy a respectable vehicle, you could build over your house, all of a sudden, same Bernadette body ain't good enough for you. Bernadette all of a sudden ain't sexy enough for you. And we out there, and we doing and we talking all kind of thing. Indian woman taking the strain with her husband. Me ain't telling you Indian man perfect. Me ain't telling you that don't do stupidness. Me ain't telling you that. But ladies and gentlemen, the structure and the family value. Watch how we young men and them is. Watch how they end up. Where we mothers now on social media, crying out for the police to help them with their own children. We mothers heading out the road to pay bills. You can't even cover tea and tech. Thank God UNC win election to not send up the bill. You can't even cover tea and tech. And when you out the road waiting on a car, a young boy kick you down and take your purse. I see a man walking down the streets in Port of Spain. Stop to ask a woman a question. The young boy just walk up behind him and push him on the wall and take his chain. The man just put his hand behind the back and boy go ahead by. And you take the man thing. This is where we people is at. This is where we is at. Lack of family structure, lack of morals, lack of value. But them could say what they want. They could sit back and try to tell you, Africans who understand and support what I say, and they could tell you that we is like, but they could say what they want. You know what they can't tell you? They can't tell you the government that they're asking you to support. That same government, 144 billion US dollars wasn't enough for them to run and govern Trinidad and Tobago. And they're trying to convince, first them believe Africans stupid. First they believe Africans stupid. Them trying to make us believe that 1 penny is enough to fix this country. Bless good afternoon, caller.
Felix, I won't be long again.
Doctor.
I saw somebody had some post there at Pandemic jail and Logan jail.
Yeah.
All right. One of the greatest leaders in the world, Nelson Mandela, he wasn't in prison.
Talk now.
Is that question I asked him?
Yeah, that is truth.
One of the greatest men that I adored, Nelson Mandela.
Yes.
He didn't go to prison.
He went to jail 27 years.
Yeah.
Too.
Something wrong with that?
Yeah. And I make over 2 decades in jail.
Yeah, one of the most respected men in the world.
Man,
right?
The sad thing with it, Mandela made a life sentence, you know. That is a life sentence he made, you know.
Yeah. So these fellows and them, the brain is shallow. Something wrong with the brain. Whoever posted these things. Right?
Yes, man. Thank you much, caller.
Go ahead, my brother.
Yes, man. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 9 minutes after 2. Again, my name is Felix. I continue to thank you. And before I go, I must remind you, especially my African population, the Indian man is not your enemy. For some strange reason, a lot of you Africans believe that the Indian man on you. The man that you own, the Indian man and the Indian woman are the same damn bills just like you. Trying to navigate in the country just like damn we. It's just that they reached our understanding that some of us have not reached yet. And the only how you could evolve out of something is when you acknowledge the shortcomings. That is the first stage to recovery. Acknowledge what was done to you. Acknowledge what you did believe. And acknowledge where you have been stuck for generations. And now you need to understand. God I tell all you everything God who put up and he take down. COVID wasn't a good thing. But what COVID did for Trinidad and Tobago, COVID showed Trinbagonian citizens that all the Venezuelans who scrambled out of Venezuela, not all of them was illegal, and it have Venezuelans who came here. Venezuelans who came here, and today there's business people. Bless good afternoon, caller. Talk to me.
Felix, Orlando. Felix, I heard people talking. I think people made a mistake. People made a mistake really, really bad.
Doctor,
he said that dollar got never opened his mouth. I think he wrong. He opened his mouth for 9 years. All right, that's it. Later, man.
Thank you much. We in this together. Report the head. We in this together. So that's the correction. She really opened his mouth. Now you said, hey, but they didn't do anything. So, brothers and sisters, as we continue to speak, we continue to dialogue, we must understand that each and every one of us have a role and a responsibility to ourselves. So I'm telling you, if Venezuela could collapse and Venezuela come under a collapse state and come to Trinidad and open business, what motivated them to open business? And don't sit down and try to explain to me about the Indian man. And it's not the first time it's Kamala in power. No. Your prime minister sent back the African investors who came to make investment in the African communities. The PNM on the whole is wholly and solely responsible for African businesses not receiving financial support in a respectable way. And you might be wondering why I break it down, because when I think is so, I just say things in my mind before I say it out my mouth. And when that came to my mind, the first name flipped to my mouth is the Dupré family. Look at the structure that the Dupré family was left in. The Dupré, they were able to be one of the most successful businesses on this hemisphere. Not just in Trinidad and Tobago. Successful. All Clico needed was a bailout. A bailout. They found themselves because obviously the stock market, everything does change. And it so happened that they needed a bailout. Instead, the government took it hostage and kept the shares. Bless good afternoon, caller.
Hey, Felix, before you go.
Yes, man. Talk to me.
All these politicians who will say they will pay them till they're dead. Hear what then? Now the burial is for a nice thing to be, sir. So when these people are then die, you could take the brain and implant it in other people because they use yet, you know. They use for nothing good.
Yeah.
You still have a lot of brain that you could use.
Yes.
You could groom it, you could mold it. Right?
Yes, man.
All right, my brother.
Thank you much, caller. Ladies and gentlemen, Sabotage, you are too kind. More like... Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, family and friends, again, my name is Felix. I want to continue to thank you all. Thank you all for your support, endorsement, and encouragement. Remember, this has been our next episode of Real Talk, where we discuss real issues. We talk to real people, and we try our best to help to come up with real solutions, because we understand that Trinidad and Tobago, here every queen and race finds an equal place. And may God continue to bless our nation. Felix, unfortunately, I had all these talking points before your manning time was coming to the end. But so to go, keep going. I am watching. Peace and love, bro. God. Well, then here what happening. I told you that my number is 324-0844. Don't be on that. Call in and express. Call in and support your PNM. Call in and bring your endorsement. You call in and bring a justification for Brian Manning disrespecting his father's legacy. You call in and bring a justification for Rowley and the PNM historically explaining to people that PNM is an African party, and yet still Rowley handed over, not even to an Indian man, you know, handed over to a man who is barely Indian, barely, nothing close to African, and barely an Indian. That is the history of the PNM. The PNM have a responsibility. Matter of fact, it is their spiritual obligation to make sure that no African rise above. If Brian Lara was broken and dependent on that contract, PNM would have made sure he can continue to live. They didn't understand Brian Lara being a promoter, being an endorser in this country is motivating young people, both Indian and African. But because India on the whole, India the nation on the whole, will stand up and put up a better fight for Brian Lara than anybody in any political party, I believe by. India on the whole. Trinidad here, I believe Indian people will plan as you for Brian Lara. In Trinidad here, Brian Lara received more love from the Indians around the world than Africans. Me telling you, Africans, we love Lara. We love Lara, but we have enough sense to know that the majority are Africans who's supposed to be loving, promoting, and endorsing Brian Lara. They don't. They don't. They don't. Look at what happened. Jerome Richards, I told all the talk and all the big talk about COVID-19 this, COVID-19 that. Jerome Richards went on to win gold medals, went on to support Trinidad and Tobago. When he did it holistically. And he still did not receive support and proper respectful endorsement from the PNM media or the PNM administration. It's like Jerome Richards didn't exist. So when you see me with my Indian Prime Minister and my Indian Prime Minister pick she cabinet and she cabinet have enough respect to remember, hey, you see that piece of work that young boy put on? You see that piece of work that young boy put on in COVID-19? Let me show some love. Wait till you think, Miss Kamala, and them waiting the UNC do that for? You feel like for Jerome to go shopping? No. What he do with it, that is his business. But the country needs to know, we need to show young people, once you stay on the right path, it has nothing to do with ethnicity. Once you stay on the right path and make positive contributions, the government have no problem bringing support. Under the PNM, you on the right path. You're on the right path, you know. You register your business. You're a married person, a law-abiding citizen. In some cases, you made mistakes in the past. Today, as a law-abiding citizen, you're growing up your children respectfully. And you sit back. Some people are hairdressing business. Some people are nails. There's what do they call it by manicurists and pedicurists. Some people have fabricating company. Some people, ladies and gentlemen, different things, you know, making craft and all kind of thing. And we have to sit back, both African and Indian population have to sit back with the information that Miss Paula Gopi's school under the PNM explained to us that them invested $27 billion in small and micro businesses. And you look throughout your period of time with all the people you know, all the places you just go. Not one person could boast. Brothers and sisters, me talking about NEDCO, you know. Me talking about them kind of organizations, you know. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, the former Minister of Foreign Affairs, Miss Paula Gopi's school, explained to the, when I see that, my jaw drop. My jaw did drop. You invested 27 billion US dollars in the population of Trinidad and Tobago under the PNM stewardship in small and micro businesses, and cannot, not one citizen in this country could boast that they received that support. Not one. Not one. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I want to continue to ask you to stay focused. You see, when the morning break, understand the content that you're taking in. if you say you're supporting the United National Congress and the coalition of interest, when the morning break, the ground report starts it off. Don't miss out Andy and the team. While Andy and them handling the business, because you know they just run for some hours. You know the Douglas don't hesitate. He brings the information. PNM ain't gonna like how he bringing it. The conservative wouldn't like how he bringing it. The ups wouldn't like how he bringing it, but he brings it. While we have that, we are breaking down, brothers and sisters. You know, 12 o'clock, between 12 and 2, well, is after 2, no problem. Yeah, your boy open with real talk. You know, TC and Heavy in the dance. We have we boy opinion box out and about. We still have we boy Stark, Jason De Silva. We have we boy Ravi Figaro. We have Professor. We even have the Real Talk. You can notice the Real Talk. This is our franchise now. We are Real Talk with Ali, the Real Talk Corner, and Real Talk with Felix. So all you're doing, and I've been taking the next 2 Real Talk. Them in leaving conversation for things. The sister she jamming to and talking she talk, and Ali jamming to and talking he talk. So brothers and sisters, we're not on mainstream TV. Leave CNC3, leave them with a thing. All of them who want to spread propaganda, leave them with a thing. Because them sit back for years, allow PNM to talk to this and talk to we how they want. And they shared the information PNM wanted them to share. Look, the election done today. What the hell you doing going by Miss Penelope Beckles to have conversation, discussion concerning what? Concerning what? Miss Penelope opinion was not valid when PNM was in power. You wait until PNM come out of power to find Miss Penelope Beckles in opposition to ask her opinion. Like the media and them feel people stupid in this country or some kind of thing. Or is it that it's them who's stupid or some kind of thing in this country? Because if her contribution wasn't valid under her own government, what make you think that we who supporting the UNC long before election will accept support from her? Obviously, she's of no value when it comes to politics. She probably could be a good coconut vendor because we saw videos like that. She probably could be a good coconut vendor. But when you're talking about representation, you're not speaking the PNM, you're not speaking Ms. Penelope Beckles, you're not speaking Hans Devine, you're talking representation and accountability, you're not speaking Nyan Gaspidali. If you're talking accountability and people who not racial, you cannot be speaking about Marvin Gonzalez because he racial. So understand what we're dealing with. You're talking about somebody who refused to stand up to historical data despite their family's name tied up in it. Brian Manning. If you're looking for a weak back African, check Manning. Sad. After all these debates with Mr. Basdir Pandey and Mr. Patrick Manning, watch how the Manning name is being pronounced. You looking for a lazy African in this country? Check the PNM bunch. Brian Manning right there for you, man. He's the only African. First, they're lazy. They ain't want to put on tracksuit. When it's time to jog, they have on jacket and tie. And when it's time to show up respectful, they have on tracksuit. First, the brain wired upside down. First, the brain wired upside down. The other day, you campaigning. You have on black like me and you jogging. Everybody else in sneakers. You jogging. And they want a meeting where you're supposed to come in jacket and tie. You show up in sweat clothes. And PNM trying to convince you and me, despite the fact $144 billion wasn't enough to run this country. $144 billion wasn't enough to bring increase to pension. $144 billion wasn't enough to fix schools, roads, infrastructure. $144 billion wasn't enough to give our public servants over 4%. $144 billion wasn't enough to do that. But me, with my Duncy African skull, You're trying to convince 1 penny could fix the problem. Trinidad and Tobago, if all believe that, no problem. You see to my UNC, my coalition family, I continuing to send some love to my member of parliament. 648 feel we could just let UNC run wild and not watch them. Blue, that is not exactly what they did with the PNM. UNC never asked nobody to watch them run wild. That is exactly what they did with the PNM. I just had the conversation. You had the opportunity to tell the people. You could type up on the chat. Tell the rest, the people who supporting the UNC, tell them that Penelope Beckers had said. Tell them that when Rowley handed over, he handed to Ms. Penelope Beckers. You tell them that the African community in Trinidad and Tobago is well uplifted. We have adequate sidewalks, adequate lighting, adequate employment. All you couldn't speak when Rowley was in office. All you couldn't speak when PNM was in office. So it's shocking to me that you so concerned about 648. We feel we could just let UNC run wild. No, you don't have that authority. You didn't support the UNC. That is not your business. So I could comfortably tell you you're fast and out of your place. That's why I keep telling all you, we don't need the advice from all you. Based on the amount of people that voted for the UNC and the coalition of interest, the UNC have enough advisors. We have so much advisors. Yesterday, I had to start the program talking to one of the advisors, telling them, no, that is not a, if you want the advice, make a meeting with your member of parliament, book an appointment with the prime minister. That is how you support. Carry your information inside. Don't come and blah, 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 like how PNM doing it. We will speak now, 648. We will ask any questions about the UNC. She is my government, not all your government alone. Blue will right. Ladies and gentlemen, once we get through with them, once you understand what is going on. So you see that day, I would never, ever, ever fight you down for that. You are damn right. She is your government and not my government alone. And I totally, so if you feel you'll get me to debate that, no, you're damn right. So what you need to do now, you need to pick up your phone and call your PNM comrades on them and let them know that Miss Kamala Prasad Bisesa, the same Indian lady, this big black nigga boy down in Point 14. You could say it like that, no problem. Let them know that that boy say that he's supporting the UNC and that boy is very, very, very serious. And on top of that, yeah, other niggas calling into and supporting the whole cause. And all them Indian and them in the damn country sitting back and supporting them. What the hell going on there? Call them. Let them tune in. We need to hear from them that Miss Kamala Prasad Bisesa is the government too. That is the prime minister too. That is the damn truth. From there, we can move forward. So, Blue, I'm thanking you for reaching there this afternoon. To my UNC coalition supporters, to my Tobago TPP team, all your blessed good afternoon. We will continue to speak the truth. We will speak the facts. What would not be marketed, Blue, and carry this back in your camp. What would not be marketed is that PNM is a party that loves people. PNM is a party that should be given an opportunity. PNM interest is for the people. No, that would not be accepted here. So, brothers and sisters, family and friends, I'll leave all with the information. Please, before I leave out, don't let nobody bring no information to tell you Miss Kamala say this. Don't let nobody bring no information to tell you Anil say this, or Kiza say this, or Clyde say this, or this one say this. Please tune into the pages for yourself. Please tune in. Let me hear this.
That they can become your new masters. That's what they want. They think that we are easily bought. And it's high time that we show them that they are wrong. That they can become your new masters. That's what they want.
Listen, the conversation that we're standing by, when UNC win, everybody win. Listen, the PNM mentality.
They think that we are easily bought. And it's high time that we show them that they are wrong.
Listen to this. Listen to how this man class the PNM supporters. Thank God UNC don't talk about me like that. Nah? Listen to this. This is an African endorsing the African party. And listen how he look at the Africans in his party.
That they can become.
Oh God, my partner Dalbelly. Dalbelly, thank you for calling. Dr. We.
How you going? How you going?
Are they, how the grandson?
He did action for your man. He said, Mr. Oben, don't call him.
All right,
Boy,
I go fix that. I go fix that.
You happy?
Dr. We.
You see some other people on them there, right? They're bashing UNC. I am a UNC, right?
Yeah.
You can't be publishing something when the Prime Minister saying something there. And they say you could call in and make a point at the MC. Sometimes when you call in, you're not getting through.
No, well, this is the program how you mentioned it there. So all we go do now, because my member of parliament listening, I saw the relevant persons listening. So what we go get them to do, when you say you mention it, this is what I tell people. Let me talk about it. Let me just talk about it respectful because we want it to fix. Go ahead.
All right. Doctor, what she name again? Is something concerned, but she's a doctor, so calling concerning the same thing. Natalie, I think it's Dr. Natalie.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get on. Somebody answering the phone. A whole month now. I send information and the same thing they tell me over and over. They go get on to me. They go get on to my daughter. They go get on. And up to now, they go again getting on. I want to get on. I just want to get something positive. You don't have to work on it right away.
Right.
She could call in, the doctor could call in and say what's going on. So the thing. But you leave somebody in charge of that, right?
Yes, man.
What them going to tell you? What them going to tell you? If somebody in charge of that, right?
Yeah.
The doctor leaves somebody in charge then to take the information.
Yeah.
But the information, I ain't getting the information from the doctor itself.
Now, well, watch me. Those yes, I go call you back. I'll call you back after the program. And I go let my wife and them to them call on them and we go get that information that they're trying to get onto them. You know it?
Yeah. Here's the problem there, right? I asked the government, right? It's not I pay my taxes and thing already, right?
Right.
And I believe even though the parents have a little parlor running, that does not give the right for no government, left to the people, left to the parents, but that does not give the right for no government to cut off no disability grant.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
From children.
No.
Whether, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whether the parents have a small salary coming in, that does not give children have the right.
True. True.
If you check the human rights and whatever the right, wherever they have a right under the some convention thing, right?
Yes.
Yes. Them have a right. Under the law, them have a right. Whether the parents working for a small salary, the parents sell them bottled water, the parents have a little parlor. You understand?
Yeah.
You want to hate that. I want to know whether them qualified for it. You can't, the government can't give you a grant and then taking it back and the government come on it. You understand? Take it back. That ain't right.
Nah, this is something that we lobbied for. There's something that we lobbied for in the campaign. And just the other day, me and my member of parliament was talking about it, about concerning the differently able community and the disabled community. Because to start with, the money is too small. The money is too small.
But at least what I'm saying, right? Even though they have the CDAP, right? Something, it may help a little, right? With the CDAP, because there is a CDAP drop.
Right.
Because the boy does have seizure, right?
Right.
The boy does have seizure, right? Even though they get the tablet free, right? But he may need other things, personal things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
so the little 800 or
Yeah.
whatever he will get there would help out a little because remember, he cannot work, he wouldn't be able to work for his life, you know, and then
Yeah.
he don't have a school,
Right.
say he have special school for them. Right, so
Understood,
I
man.
don't know what you think. Let me hear what you saying.
Now we go get you. We will get you. I'm telling you, that is why the refinery is so important. Because without US, we can't go forward.
I know, but I don't know if you believe Trump might open a refinery because he's coming right next door there just now. You hear that?
Yeah.
He coming Venezuela there just now. Yes, that fake news. That fake news are real news.
That real news, man. This thing serious.
Yeah, kind of put. Let's say you have ship and thing outside there already, you know.
Done ready already. This is what I'm saying, and I noticed the USA have ship outside Venezuela. You know, Venezuela defense minister get up this morning by talking Trinidad and Guyana. Like we have ship outside.
Yeah.
Like we working with them.
Yeah. But them are but the American England has ship a good while now outside there, you know, since they had a little bacchanal with Guyana and thing. Remember them people had a business running in Guyana or whatever, right?
Somebody mentioned it.
So them had a ship there.
Somebody mentioned it the best. Where feel going on Venezuela, what back that million wherever it is PNM used to give them. The one back that and feel look at bully this government.
Boy, I know what really going on there right now, nah. But as I say, right, you will get back to my concerning that I will send you necessary information to you.
Man.
And if you could get in contact with this welfare, the minister who in charge of welfare, right?
Yeah.
And they could throw a little light. You could explain and tell them they was getting it, but since when Bobby had come in power, they take it out.
Yes.
Right? I know.
But
I hear you take that. I hear you taking money and open goat farm and thing. I don't know. I just hearing that.
That belly I love Felix.
Dalam padla, boy, dalam padla.
Yes, man.
I don't hear him again. I just hear the other day with something with Bayanara and he and.
Boy, by thank God we ain't hearing it, you know, because every time you open him out is lying, you know. So let the friends and them for down, man.
Not lie alone, you know that Indian that say go bar.
Oh God.
You have to learn a little Hindi and thing, you know. You have to learn a little bit Hindi and thing, you know Hindi.
Yeah.
Go bar. You know in Lakri.
I don't know it's Lakri.
Lakri is wood.
It's wood.
You know why it's go bar.
I know it's go bar.
Right. But every time you open your mouth, is go bar. Hey, they're padra, boy. They're padra. I don't want to say it.
Something wrong with them.
And you have plenty PNM people and them is go bar to be talking around. They may wait, you know.
For real, brother.
They may wait after 9.5 to 10 years there. They want things done right away, you know.
What has killed me is people who boast about PNM education. I tune in and see Jennifer Frederick talking about when Kamala giving the 10%. I say, but what level of stupidity is this, by?
That was jealousy. But I was asking a question there, right? I want to check something there. I see board of directors, this place, man. What is spell name again? What is the place name again?
Oh God, Angostura.
Angostura. I see a Jennifer Frederick.
No.
Name on the board.
No.
I say what trouble that is like calling a program that I find out that they say no, I know that Jennifer.
No, it's that rum selling in Trinidad, but not all that rum. It's that rum drinking, but not all that rum.
I understand. Like I joke there when I see that, but anyhow,
Because
yeah, boy, but but things will happen. I know, but it will take a little time and thing, you know.
mm-hmm.
But next thing I kind of quit right now. There, I've seen some things turn up in Granny there with the minister. And
Go let them catch you with that. Let me tell you something. As I just tell the last caller, I'm telling you one time. Our minister is a defense lawyer. They started the conversation with the minister saying that they went by office and see him talking to a criminal. If Mr. Wayne Sturge cannot talk to people who is criminals, well, then that would mean that either the UNC or 648 or you was feeding Wayne Sturge. Wayne Sturge's profession is a defense criminal lawyer. Them take that and wrap the whole thing wrong and trying to play off like Wayne Sturge get $20 million cut for an UNC election. The math's not making sense. Nah, they have to bring the evidence. That's why I say you notice all of them talking, they're talking, and I don't know if it is your check, because yesterday I reading a comment from the one of the contractor name who they call, and the contractor say he knows nothing about that. A matter of fact, he and Wayne Sturge good them the stock.
Right.
You understand? So we are putting no hard to say that Wayne Sturge is a God-fearing, honest man. We didn't put no priest in office, but at the same time, they cannot use his profession against him. That is exactly what is being done.
But you don't get chewed on no board yet.
No.
Not even blackboard, cardboard, nothing.
Only cardboard. I'm waiting for the blasting board to start to distribute employment. So that's why I have to get my part. You see when the refineries catch it length and time to refurbish? There you have to, if you see refurbishment start and Felix and get you, there you could say, now Felix, UNC real disrespectful. You understand?
Now maybe I will name them, man, but I see they have some jobs to fulfill there.
Yeah.
Right? In government, 1,000 jobs, right?
Yeah.
But I see a commentator spin it around. You know what he say?
What he say?
He said the Indian ruling and the Indian more qualify and all the Indian go get work.
What it is? Run back that for me?
I see a commentator say that the majority of people the Indian will get work because they qualify.
They qualify?
The African will, now I hear a commentator say, right?
Well, I go take that. Well, I thought they was telling me that they not qualify. But no bother with them too. It's Africans. Let me tell you something. What the PNM did, you see them same woman and them who them convince and chain up to continue sweeping on the road and cutting grass on the road? Dalbelly, that is why why does you think I keep telling people nobody not skipping the line? Because I know they have qualifications too. This PNM convinced them
everybody
to stay down.
Right. Yeah, but you know how much PNM people have no qualification.
Yes, it are plenty.
And whole post
and lock from office.
Yeah.
Them people don't walk around kind of thing.
You know, sometimes when you go in them public, when you go in them government place and things, some of them, you want to know if you're in a style, how they're talking to you. You know, it's a style.
Yeah.
A style is where your mind pig and thing, right? You want to know if them people talking to you, is one of them hog on them.
Yeah.
Because they're not qualified, the education background low.
Yeah.
And them have big position.
And they have big position. Big position. Yeah.
The party card talking to them there, right?
The party card.
It's the party card.
Yes, man.
Yeah, but we have to face reality, right? Politics is a game, right? Politics, whether PNM or UNC. Somewhere you always have some kind of thing happen. People will get job.
Yeah.
You know, non-qualified. You might qualify. That is how the game running, right?
Yeah.
But the recruiting officer, I just suggested this. At one time they say about it, right? even though the board and thing, they need to have it mixed.
Yeah.
Half and half. Even half and half. Or part, even though it's party faithful,
Yeah.
half and half.
Yeah, but listen.
Half Indian, half.
Yeah, but I don't think the government responsibility is to really send offers. You have to offer yourself. You know? I think if we picking, let me say like others picking the energy board. If 900 Indian person apply and 7 African apply, out of the 7, 4 African get picked and the rest is Indian. You can't blame the government for that, you know. Nobody can blame the government for that.
You come up with a good idea there.
Yeah, nobody can catch me with that chain up thing. If you didn't apply, how the hell? And then we try your qualifications. Who they know. But remember, the government, they're going to know everybody personally.
I could come up with an idea and tell you something.
Doctor,
every African were to go and apply, right? What they could do is to shave out their head.
And confuse everybody else.
Yeah, confuse. You don't know if they're east or west, right? Shave out their head.
I like that one.
Yeah, and they will get Schubert. Yeah. Look, I have a neighbor there. He been up, right? Thick African, eh?
Yeah.
He's African, you know his name?
Yeah.
He's a sing.
You see?
His name is a sing.
You see?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but
you
well,
see?
his mother and father is not a, his mother and father, none of them is African, you know.
Yes.
Boy, he here been up. What could happen there?
You see? It's just the ethnicity, the blood. It come down from ancestors and it coming down the road. That is what
nah, as he go big, he say they make a mistake with child in the hospital.
Okay.
They exchange the child and the father to accept that. But that is not the point. You know the point there? What do you think their mothers be on them vehicle on them?
The number plate?
No, boy. To make noise, like, what you call it?
What is that, boy? The exhaust? The
you just press. No, you just press it and it just make noise.
Oh, the horn. You is your head something. Let me tell you something. You see, you're watching me here, people watching me looking full African. I have some cousins and things. It will make a question. You know? Even my wife family.
Yeah.
It will make a question. So, especially in Trinidad and Tobago, you will bounce up people looking Indian. Look at these men. If you don't look closely, you wouldn't know that these men mix, you know.
Yeah, she mix. I know that.
Yeah.
I know that. Yeah. But here we go on there. You see that the politics have changed in the next few years from now. In the next few, I was reading something just in the next few years from now, there it might not have this race politics again, you know.
Yeah.
In the next few years, what?
Something
I want to follow the election. Yeah, I want to follow the election in Guyana and see what's going on there. But the majority of people right now, they join the Indian party, you know. Because
Pearl Sammy kicks it off for there. I like Pearl Sammy too bad. Go ahead.
yeah, money like rain over there, no boy. Money spent $100,000. Well, he coming up to 5,000, right? School grant, baby grant, and I know what the government giving all money now.
That in Guyana?
Building road and whatever. No, election is next month. Yeah. Election is next month, so real thing happening there too. But
now, but what's let me tell you something, Albany. You see that government over there? I was over there. Well, matter of fact, I just make my little turn and thing. And let me tell you something. Before it reached this election thing, they don't set the structure way. They had already set the structure. This government, when they find that oil, the Guyanese citizens and all talking at me. You know, it must have an opposition, but the citizens on the ground, the same citizens telling you they didn't like the same government, you know. But they see the government get the opportunity to bring support, and the government did it.
Yeah, but nobody happy, nobody.
All right, Dalbelly, let me go to the minutes, Chi. So I'm thanking you very much.
I talked to him and I tell you, allow you to go back and let you know you remain over there.
For real. Now, I love me Trinidad. I love Guyana nice too, but I love me Trinidad.
Yeah, I go there, man. Yeah, well, you take your time. You tell me you'll call me back just now.
Yeah, I'll call you back in a little bit.
All right, bye.
Yes, man. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a partner Dalbelly, and all you know we respect we elders. Granny, I ain't see you calling in a couple of days. I hope that everything blessed, everything all right with you. KFC, big up yourself. Kunji called the other day. Kunji, big up yourself. And everybody who does continue to call in and support the whole family, Paul Sammy, Kati, Tayo, big up yourself, big brother Anthony. Not much love and respect. Blue, we taking you in, Only just now, within 2 weeks, I bet only Blue going and be testifying and cussing when somebody come up and say something about Paul Sammy and Felix. You go see. Just now, because you see how they here debating, you go see. That is why I'm telling people I love the 648 and people. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. People who just do blogging and people who do consider themselves doing the same thing that we're doing. Just literally meet me and ask me, Felix, boy, like you just call them viewers and them and tell them how to think. I said, nobody, what my structure where I said, you can come up on my page and disrespect my viewers and am I not entertaining that? I am not entertaining that because them here tuning in and them listening and supporting what it is I saying. So it's crazy for me to just sit down. If I miss the comment, I miss it. But like how we are Paul Sammy and Kati or Triple D Roti Shop make a comment. But nobody who, especially if you're from the PNM, had no opportunity to come up here and disrespect that. We're not entertaining that here. Because when it's time to take we strain, we take we strain. We take we strain. And Blue, just in case, because we know you listen to the song. When UNC win, everybody win. There is no problem. But what we explaining to brothers and sisters at the same timing, nobody is skipping no line. So you might come, the Prime Minister, Ms. Kamala, them go welcome you. Mr. Kiza and them wouldn't turn you down. Ravi and them ain't go coast out on you. No. But nobody is skipping no line in front of nobody. And it's that we totally endorse our government supporting everybody in Trinidad and Tobago. Just like how, as much as we lobbying for Point 14, we lobbying for Saparia, we lobbying for Shogunas, we lobbying for Cedras, we lobbying for Princeton. It's the same lobby we lobbying for Sealots and Diego Martin. We lobbying it for everybody. Because once Trinidad and Tobago is a better place, then that means everybody could get an opportunity to educate the children and their children could evolve into the best that they could be. We lose too much of young people because of misinformation, too much of young people because of stress. We use too much of young people because of lack of family value. So it is our responsibility to actually be a part of the better Trinidad and Tobago. And brothers and sisters, I don't care where they tell you. They could tell you African was kings, and yes, all of that, we're reading it. We're reading it, no problem. But with all the African kings it had, that was not enough to convince the former Prime Minister, Mr. Rowley, to bring better support to the African community in Trinidad and Tobago. So you don't bother to tell me it have books with kings. We know that. You should have passed it on to Rowley. You could have passed it on to Marvin Gonzalez. You could have passed it on to Nayan Gaspidali. You don't wait until my Indian Prime Minister standing up for African, because the African Prime Minister mash African to the ground, scrap African businesses, make sure that Africans is of no value. And our Indian Prime Minister standing for the Indian people, standing for the African people. I good with that. I go work with that. I comfortable with that. Brothers and sisters, you can either choose racism or you could choose prosperity, betterment, unity, love, and respect for Trinidad and Tobago. I choose the latter. I choose unity. I choose love. I choose respect. And I could sit down and tell you comfortably, under my Prime Minister, under the supporters, because we consider as the supporter. So when I go in a crowd, I don't look at it as Indian supporters and African supporters. All of us is supporters. So we are all supporters. My responsibility, Mr. African man, especially Mr. PNM African man, on an everyday basis, I will continue to remind you, the Indian man is not your enemy. That is not the person you're supposed to be pointing your questions to. We ain't point 14. Don't try to run up on Mr. Ernesto Kiza to try to fix 30-something years of neglect. He don't take the work. His family don't lend him to us. Well, then let me move forward. He willing to work. He going out. He going to relevant meetings. Listen, we just signed with Exxon this last week. The UNC at work on your behalf. Ms. Kamala Posad, Bisesa Munilal, Ernesto Raymond Kiza, and others. Mr. Clyde Elder do anything, Ms. Khadija Amin. Right now, our education minister, we have to give that support. We health minister, we have to give that support. We went through 9 years and 8 months with elderly brothers and sisters when they go to the hospital and the health center is broken chairs. We want that fix. The differently able community and the disabled community, they scrap the thing down to 2,000. And if the parents, because 2,000 cannot cover a child without disability. 2,000 cannot cover a child without complications. So $2,000 damn sure can cover no child with disability or a differently able child. So here is the scene. We can demand we government. No. Because we understand what our government inherited, what we're encouraging. We listen to the cries on the ground. The relevant amendment be put in place so that the relevant families receive the relevant support. You know what PNM scared of? They're scared because UNC in office. You know why they're scared because UNC in office? Because they know when it's time to spend money to actually uplift the people in Trinidad and Tobago, UNC don't hesitate. UNC don't hesitate. They have videos with schools where PNM did thing and UNC inherited and incomplete. They don't have them videos. We could show you plenty videos with that. Or if you had the time, go on we better Stack page. I want to make sure and call everybody as much as I could remember. Go on Stack page. You will get to understand the impact education could have been right now had these schools be handed over. Don't let them get chained that. Don't let them get chained that. They could call you where they want. You know when they wasn't calling you? They wasn't calling you when hamper reach. They wasn't calling you when your house end up in problems. They wasn't calling you when you needed help, when you're trying to get back your food. They ain't calling you. They ain't calling you. So tell them keep the call. Don't bother to call me now. You convinced me long enough that the Indian man is my enemy. No problem with that. But don't call me now. Because the only time you tend to call me is when you're looking for my vote. You don't call me when goodies reach down the road. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, family and friends, I want to continue to thank each and every one of you all. Again, this has been a next episode of Real Talk. And I thank you all for tuning in, for viewing,
I want to cry,
for listening with us. And I just continue to say, let we stay focused, let's stay blessed. Let's understand that here in Trinidad and Tobago, here every creed and race find an equal place. And may God bless our nation. Yeah, all you feel we are no Akash. Let's sit down and pretend to be Trinbagonian, and when these music boss only know the rhythm and don't know the words. Understand is unity, love, and respect is where we promote it. To my African, to my Indian community, Syrian, Chinese, and respectable Spanish. Bless, good afternoon, and thank you.
Last views.
Jana na 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 jana na 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 chaturang ko gaye rang ko sunaunga main chaturang ko gaye rang ko sunaunga main rajinder ji juma
knows about you that Trinbagonian citizen and you never hear this yet. When you hear this, you're talking about the Indian people music. Like Trinidad and Tobago music. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, family and friends, I thank each and every one of you for viewing, for listening with us here today. It's your boy Urban, and this has been the next episode of Real Talk. Olia, I am out. I love each and every one of you. Again, we thank you very much for your support, your encouragement, and your endorsement. I am out. Love you all. Until we meet again tomorrow, please, the Lord.